Hey guys. Caroline, Carla. Hey Mark, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Haven't seen you making any videos for a while. Hi Lulu, Amy, Ray, Teresa, Annie. Who else? Did I say hi to Lulu? Lulu. Can y'all hear me okay? Thanks everybody for popping in. We're gonna color in the new Kirby book. Well, it's new to me. It's new to me. I think the UK and some others have had it for a while. But we're going to color in this. Thank you, Teresa. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Talaria. I know I'm probably missing people. Hi, Laura. Laura, I need to color in your book again soon, too. I love that circle portraits. If y'all don't follow Laura Lou, well, it's Laura Colors too. I call her Laura Lou. She has a beautiful circle portrait book. Everyone, I'm fine. We're all fine. So let me tweet real quick, guys. Because I always forget once I get talking. Oh, that's not right. Let's see. Hang on. Where am I? Let's see. Got to go over here. I was trying to. Okay, here we go. In the morning live. Let's put some little coffee cups and. I should put the little cats. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? How was everybody's weekend? Let's see. B, Darla. Oh, I have this book since it came out in Europe, but didn't touch it. Just admire the beautiful drawings. Oh, well, you're not the only one that does that, Larry. I'm saying your name wrong. Talara. Good, Ray. Hi, Kenny. All right, I'm gonna first blame. I always blame Kenny first, but it may not be her. All right, so y'all know I tried to do a video. I did a video on Friday for a couple hours, making a little mini portfolio thing, but and it wasn't. It was like YouTube or Google glitched for a minute, and everybody that was live at that moment, it froze up their video. So I just deleted the video. It was hung up. It wouldn't go off alive, so I just deleted that video. So y'all that were here on Friday, thank you for being here. And I did ask who sent me the glue sticks, but nobody fessed up that I saw. So I'm going to say, Kenny, are you the one? It might not be Kenny, but I'm just asking. Somebody, I mentioned that I was getting low on glue sticks and I had to go to Hobby Lobby. I guess it's a couple weeks ago now and buy some more. These little ones. Somebody sent me these. Hi, Zeely. Not you? Okay, well, maybe somebody will fess up and tell me who sent me the glue sticks. So thank you very much, whoever sent them, because I need them. Hi, Sherry Bug. Let's see. B. I know I'm missing people. Thank you. Thalaria. Okay, Thalaria. Okay. Hi, Joe. You're welcome, Joe. You're welcome. Hi, Kimberly. Barb, Gaga, Karina. If I'm missing people, I'm not trying to, guys. I look away for just a second. Thanks for all the thumbs up already. I look away for just a second. People scroll by. Remember, if you're talking to me, put it in caps. If you're talking to me, put it in caps and make sure you have live chat clicked at the top. Not top chat, but live chat. And if your video goes fuzzy for any reason, make sure you set your little setting wheel to make sure you're watching in 720 or 1080p. I haven't been to my Hobby Lobby since like a week. It's been a week. It'll be a week tomorrow, I think. So I don't even know if their hours are cut or what, Same thing for my Michaels. So I don't know what their hours are at the moment. Hi, Nasser. How you doing? Our little writer in residence, Nasser. Yeah, y'all make sure and follow Nasser if you like to support young creatives. Nasser's a writer. Let's see. Gary, who else am I missing? Thanks, everybody. I got my lukewarm coffee, and I got my cranberry juice. So that should keep me going for a couple hours. I might have to go run check on the cats, but other than that. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the rooster, Joe. That was my thank you for the month of March. I have to figure out something for April. And that's provided my office supplies, my Office Max or Office Depot, I think it is, stays open where I can get prints made. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I'm just glad so far I've seen everybody safe and healthy. So that's all good news. So we're going to work in Worlds Within Worlds. I did get this. I think I got it on Saturday. Friday or Saturday. And so I already started doing one background. I thought I would do some washes. Y'all know in some of the other Kirby books I should pull a couple other Kirby books. I know a lot of people use cat print, Laura. Yeah, I could do that. Let's see. Let me get a couple of my Kirby's out here. The cats are having a blast running up and down the stairs. These aren't all the Kirby's, but I pulled out some of them so we can see some of the pages that I've done and worked on. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm bumping. I usually move my little table where the computer is sitting out just a little so my chair doesn't bump when I spin around. I spin around and my chair goes bam right into the table. Take a little time to click. Oh, thank you, Carla. Carla, you're always so encouraging, not just for my channel, but for everybody's. I always see you in everybody's channel saying, click the likes, everybody give thumbs up. Thank you, Carla, for being an encouragement to all the channels. Karen, hi, Janet. I know I'm missing people. Victoria, Elena, or Elena. I'm not sure how you say it, but Elena is how I've been always calling you. Let's see, Tracy. So, yeah. We have out what Denise would call the crap pencils. I have the main colors here. Then I have my flesh colors and, a few others that I use a lot in this tray. I figured we'd probably be using most of these bright colors today. I did finish. Where's my phone? I did finish. It's already bagged up, so I can't show it to you. But I did finish. I did post it on social media everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. I finished my Doctor Who commission. So if you want to see that, it is. It's all over on what do you call it? Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Hi, Nanette. Let's see. So let's see if I can show it to you in a decent light here. Let's turn down the light on my phone just a little. So I did finish it. It's not going to want to. There you go. So if you want to see it better, go look on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and then you can zoom in and see it better. But I did finish. See, it wants to catch a light there. You know what? Let me turn. I know what it is. It's my overhead light. Hang on. I usually have that one off so that, and I usually have this one over here on so that it's not a, there we go. That's a little better, isn't it? I think. Let's see. Turn that bright down just a little. There we go. We'll see what happens when I zoom in on a white color page. So anyway, oh, thank you, Janet. Elena? Oh, good. All right. So I got that done over the weekend. I'm working on a dog right now. I only have it based in. It's not, again, this is just based in, but I am working on a dog here. And that's just the acrylic base. So I'm working on that one. What else am I working on? So getting stuff done. But for me, the social distancing, staying at home thing is pretty much, that's my life. It's how I live anyway. So it's not like I'm having to make any real sacrifices by staying home. Except maybe, we'll see if Hobby Lobby closes or Michael's. Gotta have some craft store. But anyway, you got the book on pre-order? Yeah, I did on pre-order. I just, I know UK and some other places, and somebody said Walmart has it now. So it's probably really out there, easily available. So anyway, thank you, Carla. So I did the only thing. Oh, here come the babies. We might have to remove him off the table. Again, if anybody wants to fess up to sending me this glue, I will. Thank you. Thank you so much, whoever sent me the glue sticks. Let's see, who else? Yeah, I got Oliver's like right there. He's got sleepy in his eyes. Oh, good, Teresa. Yeah, I did. I tried to put them on Catterday. Every Saturday is Catterday. I don't always remember, but I try to. And then this last Saturday, I think I put 3 Catterdays on Twitter. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry Bug. I'm sure there's going to be things like that happening everywhere. I'm going to have to move that fan is blowing literally in my face. I'm going to have to, let me turn it. I finally turned on the air conditioner to get the pollen out of the air. But, yeah. Hi, Diane. Yulia. Karen M. Did I say hi to you? Will you show the final results of your portfolio? Okay. Well, I'll show you how far I got. And then I did a little dimensional page just to show. Now, this is, all right, so let me see here. Hang on. Let me separate all these little papers. So this was the portfolio. And it can go either way. It's we didn't get past this part. We didn't get past the making of the portfolio itself with the duct tape and covering it with bits of scrapbook paper. So we didn't get to the part where we were going to paint it in or anything. But because I had to delete that video because it was hung up last Friday. If y'all weren't here Friday, this is what I did for a couple hours. And we didn't get to paint it in or do anything else to it. This was all as far as I got before the video hung up. Now here comes Malibu. You going to come over here too, baby girl? You're going to walk over here? You're going to go over there with your brother. Just don't get in the paint, don't get in the water, and don't get in the cords. So I said, well, let me make a dimension, because the reason I wanted to show how to make something like this is if you have dimensional pages, especially. I mean, you could use it for anything, but especially dimensional pages. Hi, Nanamo. Oh, thank you, Joe, for the $20, $30 super chat. $30. Thank you for the super chat, Joe. I will add you to next month's because I already sent you a thank you this month. I don't want you to get the same thing again. Thank you, Joe. I am going to write down. Well, that pen's not working. Let me get another pen here. I'll write you down for next month's thank you. Thank you so much, Joe. I'm writing that down. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got you down my little papers. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you guys for anyone that supports the channel. I do try to send out thank yous, a little art or something. And oh my gosh, look at this, guys. He's sitting on my pencil bags. He said, well, I guess I'll just move down here out of Mama's way. Sorry, guys, for the jiggle and the movement. So anyway, I do try to send out thank yous to everybody that supports the channel, either with the super chat or PayPal, whatever you call it, PayPal tip jar. So thank you so much, guys. Hi, Pacola. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. Because if y'all don't know, if you're doing, and I think that's why YouTube initiated the super chat option, because if you don't know, live chat doesn't get the ad rates, the ad support that non-live shows get. And so when we're doing these live shows, we're not getting the money that you get when you're doing just regular videos. Just saying. So I think that's why they put a super chat in place, so that those that do live shows can get, not that we don't get anything, but it's a lot lower in the ad rates. It counts on the rewatch. It counts on the rewatch. So if y'all ever don't finish watching the live show, go back and watch the recording. Yes, I know, right, Carla? Hi, BDI Beth. So anyway, what I was going to say is we made this portfolio on Friday, and I want to paint it or do and then I made this little, it's kind of like, I don't know, for demo purposes. So you can see here, I just did a little, and they're popped up. See a little pop dots. You probably can't see them, but some of it's popped up. So I did this little thankful page for, we all want to be thankful for everything we have during this time of crisis. And so I made a little thankful page. I wrote this, that's stickers. And then these are all the little popped up stuff. So yeah, so I made that just, because I was in the mood to do it when I was doing this. So yeah, let me move this out. Oh, baby, you're so cute. You're so cute, I can hardly stand it. It's a sweetie. Yes, you are, baby girl. So sweet. Okay, so thank you, Pacola. And thanks again, Joe. All right, since we're going to work in the new Kirby with what Denise calls, I'll tell you the story of the white pencils. They're my favorite pencils, Prismacolor. But Denise came over it was a couple years ago now. Time just flies. It seems like last month, but it's probably been a couple years. She came over, and she doesn't color. She used to draw when she was in high school, but she doesn't really do, unlike Cameron and I, and then Boo likes to do crafty stuff. But anyway, so she wanted to color a page a couple years ago on a live show with us, right? So got out a color book. She picked out a page, and I gave her these pencils, and she started coloring. And for some reason, I guess she just never noticed my cases over here to the side. I have cases of pencils off to the side, and she never noticed them. But somebody mentioned, well, why don't you use the Polychromos or the Luminance or one of those? Somebody mentioned using one of those. And she saw my cases of more expensive pencils, and she goes, oh, so you gave me the crap pencils. I said, no, I gave you the pencils I thought would be the easiest for you to blend as a newbie colorist. But I'll never forget that. It was hilarious. Of course, we all thought it was hilarious. But I love my Prismacolor because they're soft and they blend so easily. They're budget friendly. I mean, there's less expensive Crayola and some other ones make less expensive, but these are always the pencils I recommend for new colorists, is because they're soft, they're easy to blend, and Scrap Girl. I don't know if I know you. Oh, well, wait, did you change your name? It looks like I recognize your picture, but it's not Scrap Chick there. It's Scrap Girl. So thank you for visiting. Let's see, who else am I missing? Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been probably 2 years. Yeah. I know time flies, right? And Mark, you need to make another video. Are you still getting the Sketchbox? I think it's Sketchbox or Scrawler. Which one do you have a subscription to that you do videos for? Hi, Louise. I just started following Louise recently on Instagram. Who else am I following? I mean, there's a lot of people that are just so awesome. And if y'all don't follow, let me find her here before I mention her name. Let's see if I can find her. Go over here. Okay. If you do not follow Judy Jones, who is just Judy for you, OMG, you need to go follow her. This is some of her drawings. I'm just going to kind of scroll. And I know it's flashing out here on the screen. Go follow Just Judy for you. And if you want to see some awesome, awesome drawings, I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Aren't these beautiful? Go follow her. Mark said the Sketchbox, but had to cancel. I find some funny. Okay. All right. And Mark was one that, a lot of times people get these subscription boxes and stuff, and I never see them use them. Mark always was using, he'd do a video, usually on the same show, using the products in the box and reviewing them. So yeah, at least do some more videos, Mark. I know you have to have time. Hi, Painty Girl. Who else am I missing? If I miss a Sherry Bug, Elaine, anybody else coming in? If I miss seeing you, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that, I look away at the cat or something and it's changed. It's scrolled by. All right. So let me go ahead and show you. She's so cute asleep over there on my pencil bags. And in no particular order. I think Imagimorphia was actually the first one, then Anamorphia, then Mythomorphia, and then I've got 2 or 3 other ones as well. And so we're going to do World Within Worlds today. And so let me just move the pencils over here so you can see. The book is exactly that. They're all the same size. Oh, okay. Hi, Lisbeth. So in Imagimorphia, I'm going to just kind of flip through. So what I started doing in all the Kirby books was doing acrylic washes as a base. So this is an acrylic watered down. When I say acrylic washes, I mean an acrylic watered down acrylic paint. Let me brighten this up because now we're off of the white. There we go. Watered down acrylic paint as a base, and then color pencil and whatever else on top of, right? So I'm going to flip through, and a lot of these were done as examples, so they're not done, because I did them on camera to show you different techniques and different things you could do with them. So they're not done. Now, there are some done, but a lot of them were done for a demo. Let's see. Do I need to zoom in one more? I don't want to get too close because it'll fuzz out on us. So you can see the background. Now, when I do a background in black or a solid background, there's no water in the paint. So when, like, this has got watered down paint, this is not watered down. When I do a background that's solid, there's no water in it. This one has a background and then pencil over it to make it look like a kind of like a fire glow in the background. Same for this one. This has the dark purple and then did pencil around the fish to make them look like, or the penguins, to make them look like they're moving through the water, Anybody else I missed? So there's just different techniques that I've done and tried. This one has the background little bits colored. This one I haven't colored them yet, but this one has the Stickles glitter so that you can see how you can do special techniques. Here we go. You can probably see that better. You know, I try to show a lot of different techniques so you can find what you like by trying different things. And I always do this one on this. This one are the mech moths. And I always imagine them going. So they have little wavy lines around them because that's how I imagine that they're doing. So this book in particular I use for a lot of different techniques. Here's where I show how you could the base, how it starts when you first start and you do a wash. You do a wash. Yeah. You do a wash with acrylic paint and then you go back with pencil. So this is the difference. So here it is with just a wash. And the exact same wash done here, but with pencil on top. So this shows you as starting with an acrylic base. Now, here's one of the benefits of using an acrylic wash base. Matte paint. This is just craft paint. It's matte. Your color pencil will stick and move over it like it was meant to be. It gives it a tooth. It gives it just enough tooth for your pencils to go, oh. And then here's just, kind of a more muted one. Again, these are just acrylic washes. They haven't been shaded in yet. But this book in particular, I wanted to show different acrylic techniques with color pencil. Now you see how that the fish have the little bit of glow thing around them, the little bit of light blue around them. You can't do that without an acrylic wash base. I guess you could, but you would be struggling. I can do it just like that because of the acrylic wash base. Okay. So there's just different things that I've done in this one to show how to do different techniques. Like this has the acrylic wash. So what I did on this one is I washed over the whole page. The whole page. Now, well, except for here. Or I should say over all the birds. And then in the background, I did a solid acrylic paint. And then this is where we go from there. This is what it will look like with pencil on top. This is just black and white and blue pencil on top of the acrylic wash. So I'm going to want this one to be monochromatic and have it just be the blue, the black, and the white. So this is where it goes from this to this. So I did a lot of like I said, of repeating, I did a lot of pages where I just show you examples of what you can do. Okay. So I went through, it was one Saturday. I think I did a marathon stream. I forget how many hours, 6, maybe 8 hours. And when I first got this book and went through the whole book and put a wash on almost every page, not every single one. Here's one where I just used gel pens to do the trees. That's just all the trees are done with gel pens. Again, just a wash. And I do this on purpose. See how it goes right outside the line of the camel there. I wanted to show how you can just do a wash right over everything, because if you're going to paint the background in solid, it doesn't matter if you go out of lines because you're going to paint over that, right? So you don't have to be real fussy about that because you're going to paint over it. Here's one where I painted the tree in the background and showed how to do a mist. Again, you don't want to do this kind of mist kind of technique. You don't want to do that till you're completely finished, because then you're going to have to try to go in there and color around that. You want to do all your coloring first. Okay, now he wants to get in the bag of stamps behind me. And then I showed how to do some mist. So again, this is just a book of techniques that I wanted to show how to do different things. These pages that he had in the back of this book had some blank like feathers for you to complete, but I used them to test different things, ink tints, gouache, just different things here. So again, this is mostly my techniques, okay, in that one. Then in Anamorphia, put it in caps if you're talking to me. Hi, Jeanette. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. Again, another wash. This one has a couple of colors. Like it has a light tan, a brown, and a sienna color, and they're washed together. And so you have a base. You have your base to start color penciling on. Now, I will reiterate this. I say it every time. When you do a watered down acrylic paint, you want to do one layer and let it dry. If you keep putting a lot of water on, it's the water that will make your pages buckle. It does not bother me. I found that by the time, if you have a little bit of buckling in your page, by the time you do the front page and the back page, and you got your acrylic and you got your pencils and you got your layering, the buckling really goes away. Hi, Anne. But you want to do it you just want to do any water medium in stages, in steps. Let it dry, then put another layer. Let it dry, put another layer if you're trying to get it darker and darker, right, with your acrylics, because it's the water that's going to buckle your pages. Okay, so let's see what we got in this one. I don't even remember which is what. So here's the larger page again. So I started doing different layers here of acrylic. Let's see what acrylic brands. Well, any craft paint, but my favorite is Deco Art Americana. That's just my favorite. As long as it's matte, a lot. And I'll tell you, I repeat these things because new people watch and everything. If you want to, people, why don't you use like nice acrylic tube paints and stuff like that? Because most of those have a binder in them that leaves a sheen. It leaves a satiny shine. There's a satiny shine in those paints. They're good for your paintings. Don't get me wrong. They're great for paintings, golden and all the different ones. But they leave a sheen. And the sheen in those paintings is what resists your color pencils. It's what resists. You want a matte paint that's going to give your base a tooth. It almost acts like a watercolor paper when you paint it with an acrylic wash. Okay, and your color pencils go right over. Do I still have that? I try to keep that sample here. Let me get my little notebook here and see if I kept that one, because I always re-show it every time. If you take, I always have to redo it again because I don't keep it. I've shown it before. I might have to show it again. I can't find it. I thought I kept that sample because I always have to redo it. I'm looking through here. Hang on. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I will show you again. Well, let me pick up all this stuff now. Here, and it's the best sample that I can show you of how the acrylic paint works. Let me do it again. Let's get a scrap piece of paper here. I keep them under here. Even though I clean this out, let's get a piece here. Okay. I'll show you. This is the best sample that I could ever show. So I'm going to take a little bit of a black. Well, that was way too much. Okay, because I need it to dry. Okay. I'll hit it with the heat gun. Okay, so there's some acrylic paint. Let's see. Tracy, Flo. Who else am I missing? CB Coloring. Anybody I missed? Thanks, everybody, for popping in. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, so I'll hit this with the heat gun. It has to be real, and that's the other thing. You want your paint to be 100% dry before you start penciling over it. I got a little thick. Okay, so let me take a black pencil now. All right, so let's say you're coloring something. All right, and you want something nice and black, but you might want to say you want some star shine or something over it. All right, so here I'm going to take my black color pencil, and I want it to be as black as my acrylic paint. So this in itself is going to take a while and a lot of pencil. Although you can use some pencil or, some kind of a mark or something in real tight spaces. Because sometimes, I'm used to painting little and I'm used to painting around little tight spaces. But if you're not, those tight spaces. But again, it's going to apply to the same thing. If you use a pencil, even in the tight spaces. All right, so now we have paint, pencil. Okay, so here is why you want to use paint. I'm going to take my white pencil and just barely give it, look, no pressure, just kind of no pressure. If I put pressure, I can almost get that back to pure white on top of the paint. Now look, watch this. With the hardest pressure, I'll never get that white. So now with all that hard pressure, I need to sharpen my pencil. So if you want to do anything like, let me sharpen this. If you want to do anything like a star shine, or if you want to put a soft glow, I'm barely touching. If you want to put a soft glow or even a hard outline around anything, you can't do that on top. You can't do that on top of pencil. You see that? This is why the paint is awesome. And it works with whatever color, not just black. It's just black is the most, you can see it the most obvious, right? So this is why the acrylic paint thing is awesome. Now I should save this. Let me tear this down just a little. I should save this. I always say I'm going to save these for the next time somebody needs to see that. Okay, so let's see. Jose, Miss Mary. I know I'm missing people. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Kathy. So again, these are just different techniques. Here's how I showed how you can use a stencil. This is a stencil here. Again, the black acrylic paint, you can see, look, see how it goes right over the top and around. I just did a little, using the white pencil on top of the black. But this one, we used a stencil to show you. And again, most of the time I'm doing these demos are going way faster than I would if I was just doing it by myself, just so I can show you guys. So it's not the neatest in the world. You can take your time. All right. So here's a stamping technique. Again, another just a wash. So here's a completed page. So this one, let me get the paint off my hand. Hang on, guys. This is a completed page, and it was done the same way with a wash of acrylic paint and then pencil on top. Maybe tape your demonstration into the front of, well, half my books are demonstrations, Sherry. So anyway, this one is, again, a wash of acrylic paint and then pencil shading the details and then a splatter for bubbles. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Lynette Porter, for the $25 super chat. Thank you so much. Make sure, I think I have your address, but email me your address again so I can send you out a thank you. And if you have not, if you have a preference of what art I've given away in the last, like, did you get yourself I don't think you got a rooster. I don't know if you got yourself a blue jay. Let me know what you would like and I will send you. Okay. Thank you so much, Lynette. Let me give you my email here. Cola probably put it in, but there we go. There we go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, it's on the medical drinking. Ethan. Yeah. Why are you telling us that? Oh, we're going to remove that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. We're going to be removing that. Whatever Smith you are. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Moving right along. So now, yeah, you can talk all you want now. You're hidden. Nobody can see you. All right. So anyway, this one is done, and I really enjoyed this one. Again, if you want your pages to be consistent, the best way to do it is with color. Pick like 3 colors and use those 3 colors, and with the accent colors, of course. But use those 3 colors in your overall piece, and it will look consistent. The other thing that I noticed, and people ask me all the time, I use the same colors that you did. I follow what you did, but it doesn't look the same. And 90% of the time, maybe 99%, it's not really a stat, but most of the time, the reason that your pages don't look like you hoped they would is because you don't have enough contrast. You need very dark darks and very light lights with your colors. That will make your page have high contrast. Oh, thank you, Arlene. Yeah. That will make your pages have depth. Okay. You need high contrast. Now, these were done 2 or 3 years ago. Sorry, guys. A fan I've got to move is blowing right in my face. And I'm rolling over cat toys here. Let's move the cat toys. My chair is rolling over. They bring me cat toys. They want me to play with them. All right. So this one was a page where you're supposed to, he has you wanting to complete the turtles, right? Well, I showed how you can take a scrapbook paper and use a scrapbook paper. And all you have to do is take a tracing paper, trace it, and then, okay, baby, you want to get out my pencils? Oh, don't sit on the paintbrushes. There we go. And cut that out and glue it on. And then you could fill this whole page with different little different scrapbook turtles. This one was a project, and a lot of them are in progress. So here's another one where it was a wash of blue, and then I went in with just one color pencil. I think it was just one color pencil, and started shading. So you can see it starts like this. Thank you, Nana Mo. And then here's where we started shading. Okay, let's see what else we got in this book. Again, this is the same kind of thing. I start showing you how when you start shading around all those little scales. And it's just a wash of acrylic paint and then going in there with pencil. Okay, here's my iguanas. This one's finished. And I think these are iguanas. I'm not sure the exact lizard type. But anyway, again, if you notice, it's like green, blue, and yellow. I mean, there's black, there's a little bit of orange, there's some other little colors in there. But for the most part, the colors are 3, those main 3 colors. And it's an acrylic wash, and then going in there with pencil to shade. This one I wanted to show how you could do a pattern in the background. It's not done. This one is another one where they were just outlines, outline, except for these here. They were just outlines of the crocodiles or alligators. And we cut out scrapbook paper to fill them in because Kirby left some of these pages a chameleon. I don't know if it's a chameleon because these are the ones that have those curly tongues, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. And so using scrapbook paper to fill in those blank areas. Let's see. What else do we have in here? I just used a lot of Kirby pages to show demos. Here's another one where you can see this is what it looks like with just the acrylic wash. And here's what it looks like when you start shading it in. So there's just the wash. And then up here is where I started shading. Oh, I guess Eileen's not here. I was going to say, look away, Eileen. Okay. And then Kirby always has hidden things in his books. She is just having a big time on my pencil cases over there. All right. Then Mythomorphia. We're going to get to the new book in a minute. I try to give tips. I want y'all to be successful at whatever project. You know, if I know a tip or I know a technique or I know a secret, I share it all with you guys. I want you to be successful at any, project you do. This is all just a base coat washed in. Same for this. I started shading this one. So you can see the difference. Just one little time of shading will do. I don't want to really go through all the books, but we'll see how it goes. These I only picked out 3. I have 2 or 3 other Kirby books too. So this one, again, 3 colors, green, orange, and then the background blue. This one I wanted to show how to do smoke and mist. Now, when you do the smoke and mist things, you don't want to do that till you're completely finished. When you're completely finished with everything, then go in there with your smoke and mirrors. Because you don't want to have to try to pencil or color around your smoke and mist. So you can see here. And that's just done with acrylic paint, maybe a little pencil, but mostly acrylic paint. And then, of course, this has got splatters on it, too. Hi, Mary. Anybody else I missed? Who else? Debbie the Doodler. I'm looking. Remember, guys, if you talk to me, put it in caps, and I still might miss it. You can use a watercolor wash, but the acrylic just gives it a little more tooth. It's just, there's something about, the acrylic paint binder, as long as it's matte. Don't use satin, don't use gloss, don't use metallic. I mean, you can, but you're going to be fighting against the paint. All right, let's see here. Let's get over to some more pages that are done. Okay, so this one, there's a video on this one. Probably about a 2-parter. I don't remember now. See, like I said, these are all 2 or 3 years ago, guys. So again, it started out as a wash, 3 colors, black, white. Well, not white. I don't count white as a color, but black, teal, and the magenta. I did a little bit of nebulization in the space. The background is a flat black with no water. And then this is all a wash. And then I went in with white paint and a Posca pen. White paint and a Posca pen to put in the details of the Kraken and some of the other little details there. Okay. Hi, Patty. Let's see. Hope you're. Yes, we're all well. Thank you. Thank you. We're all well. Hope everybody here is well. Here's where another wash, and then I showed how with the black acrylic paint that you can go around it with pencil. I just showed a little bit of scumbling and swirling, but that's where we're headed on that. And then here is where I started shading. So you start with this, and then you start shading with pencil. And again, I tried to show how you can put a mist over it. Don't do that though till the very end. And the other thing is, and in one of these, I don't know if it's in this one, when you go to put your mist on, you've got to be brave, because really there's no going back. Oh, thank you. Yeah. This one has a lot of pointillism. I didn't know how I wanted to do the troll. I did the tree in pink, aqua, and orange, but I wasn't sure. I didn't really want him pink, aqua, and orange. So I said, well, how do I tie these together? Right now it's just with the background. Haven't done the troll yet. This one I wanted to show how to do snow with the sun behind the mountains so that everything is purple. And I did put in some Stickles glitter to show you how you can add that to your snow. But again, you don't want to do this until the end. Don't put your Stickles down and then go, oh, that needs to be a little darker. It's too late. It's too late then. So, but that's, there's some snow caps with the glitter, and same down here in the water. And then started shading a little bit over here. But yeah, so just, again, guys, most of my Kirby books are demo books, just demo books. This one is done. Now, I will say on this one had like 4 or 5 parts. One part of the videos did not record, or something happened to it. So I think it should have been 5 parts. It's 4 or something like that. Again, this is a couple years ago. This one took a long time. This one took many, many hours. Like I said, it probably took at least 4 videos that did record at 3 hours each. So you're looking at probably 12 hours here, 12 hours minimum, I would say. I don't really like watercolor pencils. I can't really say, Rain. I'm an acrylic person and pencils. If I was going to recommend anything, it would be just craft paint, and I like Americana Deco, and Prismacolor pencils. I do have a set of Inktense pencils, my Neo Color 2 water-soluble crayons. I just don't use color pens. I mean, I just don't use watercolor pencils. I thought about getting the Arteza ones. Maybe somebody could recommend or tell you, if you're looking for watercolor pencils, how the Arteza ones work, because they're budget friendly, and if they work well, Thank you, Flo. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. Are you safe from all harm, Melody? It's good to see you. Good to see you back. And I know it's late where you are, so don't overstress. I mean, don't be here late but thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see you, Miss Melody. Hearts. Melody is a great supporter of all of our channels. And she's had a lot of health issues, so make sure you keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Okay. You're fine, though? It's extremely strict there. Okay. Well, it's good to see you here. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger, Miss Melody. And I don't know if you're getting mail again yet, but I have been sending you mail. I hope you're getting it. So yeah, everybody, give Miss Melody some hearts. On this one, like I said, it probably took at least 12 hours. I don't really remember because it's been a couple years. But this took a long time, and I did add gold and silver metallic paint on top of the gray and the ochre. Let's see if I can capture a shine somewhere. I don't know if I can capture a shine. But anyway, there's gold and silver paint layer. There we go. On top of the 2 colors there. And then look at all these bats. I went around all those bats with Posca, tree limbs. He has little bloody footprints because it's a werewolf, right? It is a werewolf. So this one was quite the project right here. But I really like the way it turned out. All right, let's see what else we have. Again, this one's not done. This is the fire and water dragon. So, again, it's got, two colors here. It's going to have two colors here. This one's got a lot of splatter, paint, watery bits. But it started out with just an acrylic flat background. Let's see, what else do we have in here? And again, I only pulled 3 of the Kirby books. Okay, here's the one that I was talking about, doing the mist over the top. So after I finished doing the dragon, and I did every single scale one by one. First, I did the acrylic wash. Then with pencil, I went in and did all the scales, every scale one by one. Used Posca for the teeth. And then after it was completely done, I did the mist over it. And again, you got to be brave to do that because you're putting acrylic paint over the top of all your work. So, but this one is another one that took quite some time. Let's see what else we have in here. Okay, so that one is Mythomorphia. What else? Let's see. Did I have it in color? Let's see. I also have Geomorphia and Phantomorphia. And I think I only have a couple in these done. Okay, here's one that I'm working on here. This one I wanted to test with pan pastels. So this is done with the pan pastels as a base, and then going in, it's not done, and then going in and doing the details with pencil and Posca. So you can see on the beetle there, the details. But this one was a pan pastel. Oh, well, it's what I do, Flo. Do I have something? And these were one-sided. So if you want to use the thing about the nice thing about the one-sided pages, which is only in this book, I think, is that if you want to use Copics, then it doesn't matter if it goes through. So this is a good book for Copics. Then the Phantomorphia, what have I done in this one? Orla sent me this one. Started doing the Ice Crystal Palace here. And this might have been with watercolor. I don't remember. This might have been Neocolor. I'm not sure. This one is done, again, with a lot of mist and smoke coming off of the back of the little steampunk ships. And then the crystal and all those swirls in the tree. Well, I hope so, Jeanette. I hope y'all learned something. Oh, and then I did put some stickles down there in the golden river down there. And this one was done with Copics because this was a one-sided as well, I think. Yeah. This one is the fruit bat I started, again, with Copics. So you can see Copics go through, but because it's only one-sided, that's okay. But I want to show you how to do like a black lace there. And what else? This one. What else do I have done in here? Started doing this steampunk peacock. Colored all the little cards there. Again with Copics, it goes through. But it doesn't matter if it's one-sided. So there's those two. So today we're going to work in Worlds Within Worlds. This is his newest book. And UK girls have already had this for a while. It came out to them first. And then now it's here. And somebody told me that's even at Walmart now. So you might want to look and see if it is. So, okay. So I did start. I'm gonna do a flip, and then we'll go back and work. I have started in one page. I just got this on I think I got it Saturday, I think. Because I streamed on Friday and I didn't have it Friday. So it had to be Saturday that it came in. So I'm going to do a flip through it. Here's the page that I've colored the background black. Flat black acrylic paint. Just flat acrylic paint, not watered down. Now, when you're doing things where you're going over color book lines, you want to water that down. People ask me how much you water it down. You water it down enough that you can still see the line art underneath. if you don't water it down enough, you're going to cover up the line art. Okay. So I did this, and then a little bit of black down here where you can see through, like underneath of the dino. So I started this. I have 2 pages I want to try to work on today, but I will probably do some backgrounds for you, at least start them to show you how to do them. So in this case, what I did is I painted as close to all the trees as I could with the black acrylic paint. And then where it was real tiny or like in between, you can get in there with brushes because I do it, but I wanted to show you that you could also do something like a pit pen and get in, a pit pen, brush pen, a brush pen, or a, any kind of one of your pens. But if you're using, I want to warn you, if you're using, say, a Sharpie pen or other pens, and you're trying to get in some tight areas, and you're going over and over the top of your acrylic paint, you might ruin your pens. So be careful. Don't just go in there and get sort of close, but maybe a quarter of an inch away from everything and start going in there with a pen. You'll ruin your pens on top of the acrylic paint. And never use Copics. Don't use Copics on top of acrylic paint. You will ruin them. Okay. But the other thing, I did this on purpose so I could show you. I left some little areas not real tight with the acrylic paint so you could see. It's not going to show much because I think I'm going to put stars, but just so for your information. Let's see if I can tilt it where you can see it. All right, right there. See right there against this tree? See that difference in black? See how one has a little bit of a shine right along the edge of that tree? That's the brush pen. It does have leaves a little bit of a shine. It's not as flat, black, matte as the acrylic paint. So if you do use a pit pen or another pen for tiny details, use it sparingly. Take your brush, try to get as tight in there as you can with your paint and make sure it's 100% dry before you go in color. Here's another example right there on the edge. It is a difference in color right there. See the 2 shades of black right there? It is a difference in color, and it is noticeable on an angle. Where I'm sitting, I can see it really clear. But if I'm going to put a lot of, stars or something else, nebulas and things in the background, you're not going to notice it when you put other things. But if you just have a flat black background, you're going to notice that. So use this sparingly. Use it in just some little tight places that you miss, like in between a tree, frond or something like that. Don't do a lot of outlining with it because you will notice it. There's my tip for the day. All right, so let me keep flipping through the book just so you can see the book. It's a really cool book. I really like it. I like all the detail images in here. Again, this will be a good one. Look, it's going to have all space. Now, I'll tell you another tip when I do something like this background. Okay, if I want a star system in the background, I am not going to paint around all these. If you want, take a picture of this just so you know what it looks like. I will paint flat black over all that background. Now, not over the fish, but over all those little star dots. I'll just paint over all that. And then I'll look and say, okay, well, there's little stars, little circles, little, whatever I covered up. But I am not painting around every one of those. I'm not painting around every one of those little stars. Hi, Judy. Good to see you, Judy. Oh, Nashua. Who else am I missing? Rain. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. Okay, so I'm just going to flip here. I love this one with like a dragon eye, and he's eyeballing the city. And, yeah. On a heron. This one will be fun to do. I'm really liking this one. Well, I really like a lot of them. Love this with the book. It's like a storybook on it, on the inside of the book opening. The little steampunk city. Kirby is just an awesome artist. And a few years ago, after the last, I think it was Phantomorphy or it might have been Geomorphy. After one of these, or maybe after these two, he said he was taking a break from color book designing, but he came back with this one, and we're glad he did. Thank you, Kirby. So a snow globe. Oh, are y'all able to see it? I try to get in as much so you can see the double page spread. Hi, Nancy. Anybody else coming in? Look at this one with the library. A river and the little books. A waterfall. See the waterfall? I'm going to enjoy doing that one. It's a waterfall of books crashing down into some foam. And then here's a river. See that foam right there? That's kind of where I was trying to head toward in this collage piece that I did last week. I think it was last week. Yeah. This. When I did this right here, that's what this is right here. You're new? Welcome, Pam O. Welcome, Pam O. We love newbies. Welcome. If you want to tell us, what country you're in or what state and what's your favorite art to do, art or craft, whatever you do. Thank you, Pam. And let us know what you like to do. Today we're doing color books. We do a little different things all the time. Did you mean to send me a print? Yes, I did. I meant to send you one, Judy. No. I meant to send you one. Thank you so much thank you. Let's see what else. Lisa F. I'm just going to keep flipping here. Look at this, guys. Just so awesome. Got a handful of ice and a handful of trees and green. You're in Kentucky? Welcome. I'm in Atlanta. And my name is Dee Dee, by the way, if y'all didn't know that. I don't usually say my name because my name is in the description, in the title. But yeah. Hi, Nichols. Hi, Hottie Popo. How you doing? I saw you and I don't know who you were streaming with, but it popped up in my feed, Popo, that y'all did a dueling stream over the weekend. And if y'all don't know, you can just click next to the name. There's 3 dots, or click on the name of the person, and it'll take you to their channel, and you can follow different people from here. Thank you, Pam. Hi, CB. Lulu. Thanks, everybody, for the thumbs up. Here's another one. It's like bubbles, and you're seeing dimensions inside each bubble. So you see how the bubble wand is making new bubbles there. And then inside each bubble is a little world within a world. But y'all know I love that. Love me some dimensions. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to show you this, guys. I got to move the camera. I'm moving the camera. Look at this. Look at her. Isn't she so sweet? Malibu. She's not budging. She's out. Let's see. Hi, Peppers. KP. Becky. I know, right? Let's keep flipping here so you can see the book. This is looks like an apple core that's been eaten into. And then inside the core is another little garden inside the apple core. See? Isn't that cute? Love that. some crowns. Janet, Kirby thought of you. Kirby thought of you, Janet. Yeah, I got two of them, Flo. I got two of those cats. Uh-huh. Just one's in here now, though. Hi, Gilly. Patty. I know I'm missing people, guys. Let me just sip a coffee here. I've been waiting for you to get this book. Haven't touched. Oh, good. Well, here we are, Lisa, today. Yeah, crowns with little ships and waves in each one. Here's another dragon and these little I don't know what they're called. It's not a pagoda, but it's the architecture of one. And some seashells with castles. Glass container here and all kinds of little, kind of looks like maybe a curiosity shop type thing. And then inside this little glass case is a little iceberg with penguins and some little seals. Windmills inside of Christmas ornaments. Very cool. A little house with different rooms and different things going on in the house. Hi, Lynn. Did it get dark again when I moved it? I think it got dark when I moved it over to the cat. And inside the flower petal here is a like a fair, a county fair kind of thing with the wheels and the circus tents. Bunch of bees, bumblebees carrying ships on its back. I love his imagination. I love these kind of things. Different little stilt houses and different things on leaves, on the cutter ants carrying little leaves with little houses on them. So I can think, well, was Kirby thinking about these ants, these leaf cutter ants carrying their houses with them? So he said, well, let's put some houses on the leaves. That's what I think I would have thought of. And again, some more koi fish. Two little rabbits here, and the inside of them showing little houses, little living rooms and things like that. Here's a fiddler. It looks like a fiddler crab. And of course, who doesn't love a sloth? Have y'all seen that commercial where they're all playing like Pictionary or something, like one of those games where you have to draw? It's everybody gets together and you're drawing something. And they're all drawing. I mean, they're all trying to guess the drawing, and a sloth is drawing. It shows a sloth. It shows a sloth with the big whiteboard, and he's got a marker or whatever, and he's going like this. And you see the sloth looking at the people and looking at the board, barely moving, right? And he's going. And everybody's trying to guess what he's drawing. And the whole commercial, that's as far as he gets. Isn't that hilarious, Flora? I love that. Of course, and then there's the other one. There's another commercial with the sloth where they're at the DMV, and it shows him like with a stamp in his hand, and everybody's waiting in line, and he's doing a stamp thing, like, and it's just I don't know. They're just so cute. I love my pea sloth poster that I did. I love sloth. Let's see. We got some whales bursting out of the lily pads. And a couple of birds. I guess they're ibis. No, because they don't have the big beak. There's some kind of birds with Egyptian headdresses. I was going to say they're ibis, but I think the ibis have longer beaks. But look at all the different Egyptian hieroglyph patterns all in the background there. Not very cool. And here's a Mayan temple pyramid with little llamas on top. Big snake. And the subway or the train is one giant snake. And this is also a astronaut. Is it yeah, I was going to say it's either an astronaut or a diver's helmet, but it's an astronaut because it's got space behind him. A couple of budding rams. They're probably fighting over their cities, fighting over who gets the city. Candles on top of these buildings. This one is, I think, supposed to be I don't know if it's supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant, but it's some kind, or maybe it might be supposed to be, yeah, I think it's supposed to be a Medusa maybe box, releasing everything out of this box. You have to really look at everything. You can just sit there and stare at it for a while. And when you're coloring it, you are doing just that. Cuckoo clock, lion with all his mane is trees. Iguanas with pyramids floating through space. See, I just don't think this is weird at all. Bill, that's so weird. I don't think that's weird. I don't think that's, yeah, Pandora box. Yeah, thank you, Pandora. What did I say? Medusa? Yeah, Pandora. Thank you, guys. I just don't think that's weird at all. And then here's some of the little Russian nesting dolls. Don't look, Eileen, flamingos. Looks like a little eagle. And then down here is like a little undersea aquarium type thing in the pond. And some pterodactyls with their wings are outer space. See how, I would so do that. I might have to do this one. The pterodactyl wings are the space. Can y'all see that? Look. See how their wings are outer space there? Isn't that so cool? Hi, Robin. I know I'm missing people. Kiki, Candy, Matroy. Yeah, that's what those dolls are. Matroyska dolls. Yeah, I know I'm saying that wrong. Let's see. Little crystals floating around. The cougar or the leopard. Little rainbow unicorns in a cage. Cage door open, free to go. 2 more rams. I guess the other ones weren't rams. The other ones were just some kind of deer locking horns. These are rams. In a desert. Got the cactus down here. It's like the desert in Utah, the Moab desert. I've drawn these before. That's why I know them. I sketched these out when in that remember I showed you in my sketchbook where I would watch that morning sunrise TV show, and they would start from far away and they'd zoom in and zoom in. Oh, where's that sketchbook? I don't know if I can put my hands right on it. Let me flip to that page. Let's flip to that page. And I drew that over and over and over. So, of course, if anybody's visited it, they're going to recognize it too. But here. So this was where I drew those rocks. This is on pencil, so it's going to be kind of like just bumped into the, but see from far away, it starts out far away. Then they zoom you in a little closer, zoom you in a little closer. So this is, I did these back in 2009, this book right here of all these sketches from Sunrise Earth. And this was one of the days. So yeah, that was one of the days. Hi, Colleen. Colleen, the book that I was hoping I'd have today didn't come in yet. So I know everything's a little delayed. I think might be here tomorrow. I might have it by Wednesday. But I did get my Kirby, my new World Within World Kirby book. But I got a book based off of Colleen's Enabling, but it's not here yet. And I haven't said which one it is. You know, Colleen and I, we get a lot of books. But anyway, so it's not here yet, though. Yeah, probably tomorrow, maybe. I haven't checked my Amazon. Let me look. Let's see if it's out for delivery, or I might be here Wednesday. Oh my gosh, that looks so. Devin, you popped up. Devin, you popped up on my IG. Look at that. I love that. You just popped up. I gotta give you a heart. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love that, Devin. In your art journal. Look. Y'all go follow Devin Rex for Art. That is so pretty. I love those colors. Inspiring. I just touched Instagram instead of Amazon, and that came up. You just popped up. It was meant to be. Okay, let me go over to my Amazon and see. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, Colleen. Don't try to make me. I'm not saying. Oh, no, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say yet. So maybe I'll have it by Wednesday's show. Not going to say. Did you see the cool project Erie did with nesting dolls? No. Erie, the color book designer lady, that Erie, that's the only Erie I know. And no, I didn't see it though. Yeah, I didn't see it. This is the one I wanted to do today. I mean, other than I showed y'all, I started the background of this, and I might do a little wash. I might do a little bit of a wash on the lizard just to show you, or the dinosaur, just to kind of show you how to do that. But I really want to start painting the background of this one and maybe working on the shoes. Look at those shoes. They got flowers on them. They're like Converse. They're like Converse with flowers. Oh, I just love. So this is the other one I wanted to work on today. The dinosaur one and that one. And then here's all the answers. I'm not going to show y'all that because I don't want to give it away. But look at these hieroglyphs in there. Look at that. So that is The World Within Worlds, Kirby's newest book. I know, I love those shoes we're going to work on. That's the 2 pages I picked for today. There's other ones I love too, but all right. So I want to kind of take y'all through I already painted the background this just to show you how you can take black acrylic paint and just paint out the background. If you want to get in some little tight spaces you don't think you can paint in, then take like a pit pen or a pit brush and get in there. But it does have a different color. Just a little. And you really can't see it unless you tilt it in the light. But look at this right down here. Let's see if I can capture it again. You can see the different color there. See how the black pit pen has a little bit of a shine around it? It may or may not be showing up. It's not real obvious, but I notice it. I can tell. Your whole group of Fibs are so creative. Yes, they are. They are, Mrs. Fibs. Thank you for being here. They are. We've been, some of us been knowing each other almost 10 years. I've been streaming for heading into my 10th year. First on Ustream and then on YouTube. But yeah, so we've been knowing each other for a while. Okay, I that's anytime any businesses expand, I'm for it. So yeah. Hi, Kathy Berg, working and lurking and modding. Okay, Kathy, thank you. And Kathy posted a picture. I sent her one of the roosters, and she showed a picture. I think it was on Instagram, wasn't it, Kathy? Let me go over here on Instagram. And if you're an artist, crafter, photographer, if you do any creative thing like that on Instagram, I'll follow you back. I don't care if you have, as long as you've posted something. I mean, post something. I'm not going to follow someone just, post something. But if you are a creator, I will follow you back on Instagram. Yeah, if you're doing something. Okay, let me go over here to Kathy. She showed her desk. Here it is. So Kathy showed her workspace and her desk. Again, it's wants to, not be clear. But look, there's her rooster sitting on her desk. So she showed her space here. See if I can kind of zoom around. So this is Kathy's space. She and Colleen, Kathy Berg and Colleen, who is Scrap Chick, stream together every Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. And they stream together on StreamYard. So make sure you follow them both for, so you know when they stream. And they do some, other times as well, impromptu. I did an impromptu on Friday. I'll show it again real quick before we get started. I did an impromptu on Friday and made a little portfolio. Made this out of the backs of sketchbooks, the cardboard off the back of sketchbooks, and duct tape. This is duct tape, and made a little portfolio, which you can either use flat or however much you want in it. So I made this on Friday. It took a couple hours because we talk and chat, and then kind of just covered it with scrapbook paper, scraps, and to make a little portfolio. But the video during that stream, Google, YouTube snapped for a minute and it froze me up. So I just left it. I couldn't get back. It just kept showing me as live. And it might have gone away after 24 hours or something. I got tired of it waiting. I got tired of waiting for it. So I just deleted the video. But that's what we did on Friday on an impromptu. And then I just did a little dimensional page of gratitude. This is not on the show. This was just something I did. And did a little dimensional page of gratitude for that. So yeah, so that did that. That was Friday. Okay, so let's get back to this. Kathy says, I stream in my basement so I can make messes and not worry. I just closed my door, but I get your point. It's a nice space, Kathy. It's a nice space. I've seen you walk around your room before, all your nice shelves and drawers and everything. Thank you, Colleen. All that stuff. Crafting with Peppers. You follow me on IG. When I saw my notification, got excited. I've been watching your videos. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peppers. And I think I follow you on YouTube too. Don't you have I'm pretty sure you have a YouTube channel. Maybe I don't have your bell clicked because it's not. I need to ring your bell, Peppers. Okay. So I thought about doing him in purple and green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put out a little bit of purple. You don't need a lot because you're going to water it down. You can always add more. And a little bit, I think I want lime green. I like lime green or citron. Some kind of citron or lime, or let's go with always shake up your paints, especially if they've been sitting a while. This is sour apple, so I'll put a little sour apple, and then I'll take my water here, spray. Oh, and I leave that sitting right here on top of my creative book that we've been reading out of every week. So I'm going to set that here so I try to remember to read out of it today at some point. All right, so what I'm going to do is just water down these colors here. I'm going to get a bigger brush, but I'm just going to mix it up there. Maybe a little bit more water. Again, how much people say, well, what percent of water? No measuring. It's just until it's watered down and inky consistency, and it's watered down enough so you see the line art, so that you still see the line art through the acrylic. All right, let me get a little bigger brush. Let's see, a flat. That one's a little too big. Let me find something a little bit. Here we go. That's probably good. All right, let me get my brush wet. Excuse me, Malibu. All right, so I think I'm going to start with, and that's not a good idea right there where they're going to run together. Let's don't have them run together. I'll start with the purple, and I'm going to do the bottom half of him purple. Now that might be still need a little bit more water. You want it very thin. Okay, and I'll hold it up closer after I do this, but I want you to see the whole dinosaur. Okay, so I'm going to just I don't worry about, like, for instance, here I'm gone over a leaf. I don't worry about that because I'm going to color pencil. I'm going to color pencil over that, guys. So it's okay. I'm not real picky about it because I know I'm going to pencil over it. Okay, so I'm just going to. And if you want lots of darks and lights with your washes, let it dry and then go back, because you do not want, it's the water that's going to warp your pages. Again, uh, it doesn't bother me because I want some just plain water over there. It doesn't bother me so much if it starts to warp a little, because by the time you finish both sides of your page, it's going to flatten it out with all the penciling and everything else you're going to do. But just note that it is the water that's going to make your pages warp, not the paint. It's not the paint that's the problem. And you'll say, well, people say, well, what about watercolor? What about neocolor? What about XYZ? Will that warp your page? It's none of those things. It's none of those things that are warping your page. What's warping your page is the water, the how much water you're putting. Okay. And you just want it, you want it covering everything, but at the same time, you want it thin enough. You want your paint thin enough that you still see the line art. Okay. So let me show you this. For instance, like right here where the little dino, baby dino is. Say I went over, she got some paint on him and over his legs. It doesn't matter because pencil will go over that. So I'm not really being fussy about, oh, I got to get right around those little legs and all that. That doesn't matter. Where it does matter is around when you have a solid black like this. And if you are concerned about, if you really want to just slop on some greens or the tree trunks or any of that, paint all those first and then back and do your black background. Because now with the black background, you're painting over all your lines that you got out of, right? So you can do that. All right, so let's see. Let's put a little bit more over here. And as it dries, you can add another layer and make it darker or whatever. See, I painted a tree purple. That's not his, I thought that was one of his legs. You can just add more layers as it dries. Okay, as it dries, either hit it with a heat gun or just let it dry for a minute, and then make another darker layer. I'm going to stop with this for a second because now what I want to do is go over here to the lime green, and the rest of him that's a little too thick. Still, you got to have it really watered down. You don't want to lose your line art. I'm going to go over the top of him and kind of maybe blend them kind of together. Now you got to be careful because the green and purple will make brown. So, try to keep them a little bit separate there. Try to stay in frame. I'm not looking at chat for just a minute, guys. And then these stripes, I might want red. And I know that always looks like Halloween with green, lime green, purple, and red. But, I like that color combination. It just looks good together. So now we have a base. Okay, we have a base. Dee Dee, does acrylic go over pan pastels? It will, but it's really you're thinking backwards. What you really want to do is put pan pastels over acrylic to blend it. But again, here's the thing with pan pastels. You will have to seal those. If I put down anything over, you just have to think of your layers. What's going to move and what's not going to move. But if you do use pan pastel in your color book, you need to spray it. You will have to seal it because it's pastel. It's going to move. But you can use pan pastel either way. So, all right, let's see here. I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. And most of my shading will be done with pencil. Remember what I showed you a minute ago? Let's see, where did I stick it here? Here is pencil over paint. The same application, pencil over pencil. You see, you just can't get that effect. You just can't get that effect trying to go. This is black pencil base, black acrylic paint base, and white pencil on both. So yeah, that's the benefit. That's the benefit of acrylic paint base. Excuse me, baby, I gotta rinse my brush. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna leave this one for a minute. Hi, Angel. Is that Orla Angel or another Angel? I never know if it's you, Orla. Or if that's you, Orla, did you send me someone messed up yet of sending me these glue sticks? Whoever sent me these glue sticks, thank you. I needed them. I was resorting down to these. So thank you if that was you, Orla. Are you the one that sent me the glue sticks? There are our Orla is Angel, but there's a couple different angels. And so I never know if that angel is our Orla. But anyway, somebody sent me 6 nice big glue sticks. Wasn't me. And so I don't know. There was no, sometimes there's the little gift name. And Kenny said not her. Orla said not her. So whoever sent them to me, thank you. All right. So it's still a little, if it's cold to the touch, it's not dry. So let me hit it a little bit more here. Let's see. Hi, Artie Dar. Jen Design. I know I'm probably missing people. Thanks, everybody. I go back and I'll scrub through my chat to see who I missed or who I want to follow. So I scrub through my chat later, sometimes the next day, and I say, oh, so-and-so came in and I didn't even see them. And I hate that. I hate missing at least saying good morning, but it does happen. And, we have over 200 people here. And thanks for all the thumbs up. So I know it does scroll by fast and I do miss people, but I'm not doing it on purpose. Hi, Magic. I'm not doing it on purpose. So unless you're a troll, and then I'll block you. And so will my mods. Okay, so this is how we start with the base. Now what I'm going to do, before I go on to the shoes and start painting the background, I'll do a little bit here. I'll do a little bit of coloring. And I got my, as Denise called them, my crap pencils. I love my Prismacolor. But let me move all my extra books off here. And I told the story earlier about how my daughter came to visit. What is that dark right there? Okay, that's needs to move. Came to visit, and I gave her my Prismacolors to use. And then I guess she looked over to the side and saw all my cases of, let's see here, like like my polychromos. She saw my cases of polychromos, Holbees, Loomies. And she said, so you gave me the crap pencils. I went, no, I gave you my favorite pencils. But anybody that's starting out coloring, get Prismacolor just because they're budget friendly, they're soft, they're blendable. If you're just learning how to do blending, I love my Prismas. So I have two trays that I keep mine. These are the ones that like portrait colors. Well, there's some other colors in there too right now because I've been using them a lot. It was so funny. It was so funny. You finally used your pan pastels. Kalora, yay. Did you post something on IG? For some reason, I'm thinking you did something on IG. Am I right or am I wrong? Let's go over here. Kalora is Becky. And I think Becky is her name in IG too. You did yesterday? Okay, let me go look up Becky here. There she is. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Is this pan pastels? Awesome. Okay, so Laura Lou, are you here? So Kalora, who is Becky on Becky Skinner on IG, she showed a picture of this is the circle portrait book by Laura Lou. Well, I call her Laura Lou. Laura colors too. And so anyway, she started here. So here's the start. And then the next one. She posts the book along with it, which I always try to do too. If you're a color book artist, color book colorist, I mean, if you're coloring in someone's book, try to post the picture of the color book as well. And then here's where she says she completed it in one day. So that is awesome. That is awesome. Very good. Very good, Kalora. Becky? Yeah. Thank you, Carla. All right, so let's see what I want to do here. What do I want to do? Do I want to do a little bit? I think I want to stripe the nice red. So I could do it in a. Oh, let's this red, and then I like what do you call it? Tuscan red and Scarlet Lake, and for reds, and I try to keep it I do try to keep it minimum, believe it or not. I try to use as few colors as possible whenever I'm doing any art. It's just more I don't say free, natural, spontaneous, I don't know, like and I can't show you the original because I already have it packaged up ready to go, but I did finish up, and if you want to see it on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, I did finish my Doctor Who commission, and so there it is. It's kind of hard to get it to focus, but go over there and look at it on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. So that's already packaged up, ready to go. I got to go to the post office tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to get Tuscan red and red. I'm going to get, I think, a moss green. I'm going to sharpen these. And a lime green. And I do have other, just because when you see me use nub, don't freak out. I have other, trust me, I've got tons of pencils in bundles, in cases. These aren't my only pencils. So when you see me pull out something like this, don't go, oh, Dee Dee only has one lime green. Now, I will say, I think it was Kenny sent me the black and white pencils. I was low on black and white. So I do get low on black and white, but I usually replenish them. And I did go and buy Mom a bunch of skin tones. She says, I need some skin tones. I said, don't go anywhere. My mom in Texas, don't go anywhere. I'll get you a set of skin colors and I'll send them to you. So I know this is overreacting, guys, but I went to Hobby Lobby last week. I bought her like 10 skin colors. I came home and got my wipes out and wiped down every single pencil. I wiped down every pencil before I packaged it up for her and sent it off. I'm extra careful, but I've always been that way. Like when Hubsters always comes home from work for lunch, wash your hands. Did you wash your hands? Take your wipe out and wipe off your steering wheel. I overdo. I know it's probably overkill, right? But anyway, I am being real careful about it. But at the same time, I personally am, if I need to go to the store, and this was something funny I heard. I don't want to get off on all, don't anybody tell me about who they got that's got it. And I don't want to hear all, let's keep it positive. But I did see something that said they're canceling church, but we'll see you at Walmart. So somebody goes, let's just have church at Walmart. Let's just have church at Walmart because everybody goes to Walmart. Nobody's stopping going. That was pretty funny. That was funny right there, people. But anyway, I am real careful about it, because I am considerate of other people. I'm being considerate of other people. But am I worried that just walking out my door to go to the post office or the grocery store? Oh my gosh, no, I'm not. I'm not freaking out about it. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, got reds, got 2 greens. I think I need a 3rd green. So I think I might go with an olive. This is French gray, but it's a greeny gray. So let me see what this one is. Do I like that one better? I think I like this green ochre better. It's got a little more green. So those 3 greens. I got green ochre, lime peel, lime peel, limpet, like Mr. Limpet. Lime peel and chartreuse or lime. And then scarlet red and Tuscan red for those. And now I need a couple of purples. So let's see a purple. Do I want purple or do I want them more in the magenta family? Let's see. Okay, black grape. Black grape. That's going to be too red. I don't want red purples. I want blue purples. So I think I'll go, well, I don't know. I might like that better. Let me dig for a minute, guys. I think I'll just go with, I'm going to go with lavender, black grape, and I need one in between. This one is just too blue. That one's too blue. This one is too red. Look what else I could do. Maybe I'll just use these 2 and blend them. I don't know if I want to go with Dahlia purple. It's going to be too red. Let me look. What's this one? I think this is just purple. Okay, I think we'll just go with that. Purple, violet. So, do you want me to send you a map? No, I don't, Sabrina. I don't. But thank you. And I'll just say this real quick, and y'all can go look it up yourself. I did see a new article by a doctor. He did a little video, and I can't even tell you the name. I don't have it in front of me. I'll just give you the information. You can go look it up to confirm for yourself. But he talked about, and I know where I saw Jesse Waters did a little, had him on interview. And he was talking about that, people are trying to stay away and you don't want anybody sneezing on you, of course. Right. But they were talking about how the 99%. Now, if you're in a tight cubicle sitting practically in someone else's lap all day, that's one thing. Then you'd probably want to wear a mask. But 99% of how it's spread is hand to face. So like if you're touching something that somebody left their germs on in the last however many hours, can't even tell you how many hours. But if you touch it and then touch your face, it's hand to face. That is how it's 99% of it is being spread. Hand to your face. So that's why you got to wash your hands a lot and don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. But just being like floating around in the air and getting it, that's really not the danger. Yeah. Anytime you touch your mouth, your nose, your eyes, how it gets in. So don't touch your face. That's the thing. It's not like if you walk outside and it's just floating around out there and your neighbor's across the street, you're going to get it. That's not how it's transmitted. It's hand to face. Okay. I know it's hard not, but if you wash your hands, I mean, that's why we're washing our hands a lot. We're washing our hands a lot to keep our hands clean. So when we do touch our face, you know, but anyway, so just, um, yeah, well, anything like that, Janice, I'll show that. Anything like that, is probably a good idea. You want to keep your hands clean and don't touch your face. Anyway, so I'm just saying, I'm not worried about walking out and saying hello to my neighbor next door and worrying that some germ is going to fly across the driveway and get me. I just, but anyway, it's so, it's the hand to face thing. So as long as, like I keep the what are those, your alcohol, not baby wipes, but the wipes that have the alcohol in it, whatever, in my car. So every time I get out of the car, I wipe down the steering wheel. If I go to one store and have to go to another store or go to the pharmacy and go to the groceries, I wipe my steering wheel down in between. I'm probably, this is how I am pretty much anyway. I wouldn't call myself Mr. Monk, but, I've always just been that way, about, don't bring your stuff in the house, hubster, I know, at work, wash your hands as soon as he walks in. So, yeah, so let's be careful. Let's get this thing nipped in the bud. Like, what do you call it? Barney Fife on Andy Griffith. Nip it, nip it, nip it, nip it in the bud. So we can all get back to work. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start with my 2 reds here, and I will have to sharpen. So I got my little bowl here to sharpen my pencils as I go here. So I'm going to set this right here, and I'm going to start with my dark red. And what I want to do, and I might go around the eye too. Let's go ahead and I'll zoom in a little bit while I'm doing this. And then when I go to the other page to do a background, when I go to the other page to do the background, I will zoom back out again. So let's make sure that we're still focused here. Still want it to focus. Okay. How do you price your portrait of animals? I may want to commission you. Email me, Karen, although I'm always a month behind. So like that Doctor Who that was commissioned a month ago. I have 2 other pet portraits that I'm working on now. I'm always a month behind. So you always have to give me a month. My portraits, people and animals, start at 150. So just give you a base. Okay. And then depending on what else you want in there, if you want clothes on your dog or something, So, okay. So I'm going to start by just adding a little bit. I'm going to start shading, and I am going to go around the eye. I got to be careful to stay in frame here. I'm going to go ahead and put some red around the eye too. The other thing that I do on eyes, and this is tiny for you to see, but I use a Sharpie pen, and this is true of anything that is printed that is not 100% black. Okay. Hi, Deborah. Like an iris, like a pupil in an eye. It's not 100% black from the printer, right? Most cases. There's very few that are very, very dark, very, very dark black printed ink. But if you want like a pupil to be very black, or say a nostril, or anything else that you want really black, you're going to have to don't depend on the ink of the book to be the darkest black. You'll want to go in there and get it black again, or blacker. And then the same thing with the white. Like there's a little white highlight in his eye, but it's gotten lost. So just that one little dot. See that one little dot there? Okay. So I am going to want some red around the eye here. Going to have it green. His pupil is going to be green. I got a sharpen over here. I got my little sharpening tray. the green on the pupil. I mean the green on the iris and the black in the pupil. Then I want a little bit. Gotta keep it sharp. How do you price your portrait of animals? Oh yeah. Did you hear Karen? Yeah, they start at 150. They start at 150 for this size right here. I do them on tone tan mixed media paper. Oh, wow, that was close up. I'm so zoomed in, I forgot. So I do the Strathmore 9 by 12, 9 by 12 tone tan paper. This right here, cardstock like weight. That's what I do all my portraits on. I do all my portraits on tone tan. I used to do some on blue and pink and other colors. Now I do it all on tone tan. Okay. All right. So I don't know if that answered your question, but all right. So I'm going to just do a little more shading right around the eye there. Okay. And what the benefit is, here's a couple things. You do a wash so you can still see the line art from the artist. Then you use that line art to help you decide where you're going to shade. Okay. Hi, Holly D. Bootsy. I know I'm missing people. Thanks, everybody, for being here. All right, so now I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to start kind of I want his stripes, if you will, to be red. So I'm starting with the Tuscan red as the darkest part, and then just kind of lighten it up as I go down, okay? And then I'm going to put the lighter scarlet red on the rest of it. So I'm just kind of basing this in to start with. I'm going to try to stay in frame because I'm so zoomed in. And it's always a little challenge in the ditch. When you're in the ditch, sometimes you might need to get paint in there because you can't get in there 100% sometimes. And it's been a while since we did a color book page. If y'all were just joining us, then at the beginning of the show, I did do some flips through my other Kirby books to show you, which most of my Kirby stuff were samples from a year or two ago, maybe 3 years ago, when color booking really, took off and we were all doing it. So I did a lot of my pages were samples to show y'all how to do techniques. There was a few that I showed that were completed, but I did a lot of sample pages so that you could see the techniques more than seeing my finished pages in the Kirby books. I have a lot of finished pages in other books, but in my Kirby books, it was a lot of techniques. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in caps. Okay, now it's time to sharpen. See how it's dulled down? Put it in caps so I know you're talking to me. You like the colors now? Yeah, I love these colors together, although it can look a little Halloween with red, lime green, and purple. Or orange, orange especially. Orange can really look Halloween with these colors, but I just thought I like them. I like these colors together. All right, so now I got a little bit of a base there. Okay, let's do a little further down on these. Okay, so now I'm going to take the scarlet. Okay, that was Tuscan red. Did I say good morning to you, Desert Nana? Good morning, if I missed you. Oh, thanks, Bootsy. Well, Bootsy, I've been doing it for going on 10 years. I've been streaming for almost 10 years. And, there's still times where, depending on what the project is, that it is hard. That's a little orange. Scarlet, maybe I need crimson. I think I need crimson. Scarlet's a little orange. Yeah, crimson. Let me sharpen my crimson. Scarlet's a little orange. that sometimes it is a little tricky to talk and work at the same time. If you're doing a watercolor, for instance, if you're watercoloring, you have to pay so close attention to what you're doing, because you gotta keep it wet and you got to keep it moving. And if you even look away for 10-15 seconds to look at chat, your thing is dry. So there's some projects that it's a little harder to watch chat and do the project and chat at the same time, but it does get easier just by doing it so often. And the other tip I can tell you, if you want to be a streamer or a YouTuber, you can't care what people think. If you start worrying about, oh my God, I went out of the line there, what are people going to think? You might as well forget it. And if you care about thumbs down, dislikes, a negative comment, don't do it. If you're that, you have to have a little thick skin. And that also gets easier with time. But you can't be afraid to come on here. Like, I'll give you an example. My turtle that we did last week, total thing. And everybody goes, no, it wasn't a fail. But it really was. But I don't care. I mean, I want things to turn out. Don't get me wrong. I want my best. I want to do my best every time. And I want it to look good. But if it doesn't turn out, it's just paint and paper, people. It's not the end of the world. I already answered that, Karen. Did Karen not see that? I answered that already twice, Karen. Oh my gosh. So you just have to kind of not, you have to kind of not worry that something's not going to turn out. And that's what I tell you guys. If I can do this on camera and have some fails, then you can do it in the privacy of your own home and have a fail. It's okay. It's okay. Don't let messing something up stop you from trying things or doing it. But you have to really, if you're going to be a streamer, YouTuber, especially over the long haul, two things. One, you can't worry about what people think. And two, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. People depend on you to be there. And if you can't be there, then let them know why. Don't just, go, oh, I'm going to try this YouTubing thing. And then, everybody 6 months later, all of a sudden you're not doing it anymore. It's like, where'd she go? Why aren't they streaming anymore? That's the worst to me. At least come on and say, you know what? I decided YouTube streaming, whatever, was not for me. So thanks for watching the last, 6 you've been doing. Thanks for watching, but I'm moving on. Come and tell people. Don't just like disappear and go, what? Where'd they go? And I know if you had some emergency or something, or you didn't have internet, or there are excuses, but that's my advice. Okay, and now I'm just getting your connection is unstable. Speaking of, am I still here? Let me get a test here. Am I still okay? I just got one of those your connection is unstable things. That doesn't necessarily mean we're disconnected or anything, because I still see my time rolling. You're fine. Thank you, Janet. That happens sometimes when you're streaming. You'll get that notification. And I am thinking about getting another computer. So we'll see here. My laptop is, we've been streaming on this baby for a while. All right, so I'm just kind of going in there and getting those stripes based in. And we can go in there with some white and lighten. Oh, sorry, guys. I gotta remember that I'm zoomed in. When you're zoomed in, you got to keep moving your project. The other thing, too, is most of the streamers and YouTubers in our group, in our FIBS, Friends in the Box, we're all very helpful and willing to help you get started. If you have any questions or anything like that, we're good about helping. The whole group, not me. I am too, but I'm not saying I'm so helpful, but we're all real helpful about, helping newbies, streamers, or YouTubers get started. And y'all know here, I'm always I'm always about sharing links and other YouTubers and videos. Just, I mean, be courteous. Don't come here just to spam or anything. But we're good about sharing. All right, so there's a little bit of the base for that. Hi, Jerry. Now I can do a couple things. I can either go over this with green and make it look like it's going to fade into green. Let's do a little test here. I can go over it in green and make it look like it's going to go part of the, because I'm going to go over every one of those scales one by one. Or I could add white in there, and I think I'm just going to go with green. So I'm just kind of going over the whole thing just to kind of blend it in and mash it in, like burnish it sort of. I don't think it needs any white. I think I'm liking that. Now, I do think it needs a little bit of maybe even dark brown on the very darkest dark. I like high contrast. Let me see. Where's my dark brown? So I think this is burnt umber. So I think what I want to do is I want to get even just a little bit darker red, if you will, in the red, dark red areas, and just have it even just a little bit darker. And you're going to see the difference it makes. Oh, and one other thing, because I am kind of pushing kind of hard now on this edge, another thing you should think about when you're doing this, and I should always tell you to do it, and then I don't do it, is get a piece of cardstock. Is put some cardstock behind your page so you're not, see there, so you're not denting this page. If you don't have cardstock behind your page, you're going to put a dent over here, and then when you go to color this page, it's going to be like a rubbing. You know what I'm saying? You've put a little dent in that, and it's going to be like a rubbing when you go to color that. So keep some cardstock behind the page you're working on to prevent that from happening. So, all right, I could keep moving here. And when you push hard and you're burnishing your paper, there's really no going back and to blend. If you want to do blending and shading, don't be pushing real hard and mashing your pencil into the paper unless you know that's the last layer that you're going to do. Because once you mash your paper down or hard burnishing it like I'm doing with this brown, other than some black on top, I could do that. But you're not going to be able to shade and blend once you've mashed that color deep into the paper. Can y'all see how that's making a difference already? So let's just keep going right across his back here. Trying to stay in camera. And I do kind of hurry through some of this while I'm on camera, but don't hurry. Take your time, enjoy the process. I don't go this fast when I'm coloring by myself. When I'm just coloring for my own enjoyment, I'm not rushing through. I'm not hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay. I'm taking my time. I might have a YouTube video on, or, I'm not rushing through. So don't rush through when you're by yourself. What do you call it? Crimson is blended down. And again, now I'm not pushing hard. I'm not pushing hard here because I'm going to go over it with that lime green, and that will be the burnishing of it. So I'm just kind of softly getting a little bit more red in there. And some of it may not show up really well on camera, but soft layers is always the best. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Bye, Flo. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, let me put another. I got a couple pieces of cardstock here. Let me put one behind here, too. So tell me what y'all are all working on. Are you coloring? Are you painting? Are you drawing? Are you crocheting? Are you diamond painting? What are y'all doing? I'll look up here a second as y'all answer. Oh, I've seen all the new stuff when y'all post on Instagram. What's everybody working on? All right, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in here with my lime green, go back over here first to his eye. And I'm kind of going over the red and just kind of blending and mashing down with the lime color. Still got to do all the rest of his body, right? But I'm just kind of concentrating on around his eye here. Okay, so BDI Best doing birdhouse painting. I love it when you do your rocks. I still have that kit. BD, that that I because of you that I bought, and I have not even busted it open yet. Ray is making pan pastel painty papers. Bootsy is crocheting. Pamela's diamond painting. Anne is doing the Barb Owen mandalas. And y'all check out Barb Owen. If you like mandalas, you need to follow Barb Owen. She's doing classes and demos. Follow Barb Owen if you like mandalas. Hi, Nikki. Saying hi, watching, not talking. Well, thank you for being here and lurking. Kenneth is crocheting 100-inch blanket. Ooh, I don't know what that is. 100-inch blanket. Is it just like 100-inch? Is that just pretty much self-explanatory, Kenneth? Kathy, bye. Bye, Kathy. I'm missing people's comments. Judy is swatching Uniball Signo gel pens. She got a set for of 36 for $4.99. Yeah, I'll show you the kit that I got, BD, I bet. But I haven't even busted it open. Jerry's working on a cactus picture. In this book, Jerry, which page? I mean, what animal is on the cactus page? I don't remember. Let's see. Rain is coloring with her new, I don't know what that is. Schiffer Farben pencils? I never even heard of those. Louise is diamond painting. Magic just posted a few pictures of some coloring she finished on IG. Been slacking on the posting. Pam got three of, is this Kirby's books? Is that what you're saying? The K's books, if you mean Kirby. Devin finished up My Speed of Life journal. Okay. That's Carla Sondheim, right? Devin, am I right on that? I might have the wrong person. Nikki says coloring in Fabina's Cinderella. I don't know that one either. Gaga, I'm coloring the two rabbits in this book. Oh, the ones that have the little houses inside their bodies. That's so cute. Kenneth said it's over 7 feet for a gift. Oh, wow. That's going to be a nice gift for somebody. That's like my Mona Lisa illusion quilt that Sassy Pants Jean did for me. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. What are Posca pens? They're paint pens like this. Paint pens, Pam. And they come in different tips. This one's kind of like, it's like a medium fine, but they come in even finer than this. There's all different sizes, but Posca is the brand. Arteza has a paint pen set as well. It's acrylic paint in a pen. It's Pam Carricker is at the Speed of Life. Okay, Devin. Pam Carricker. Okay, I had that book at one time. I think I gave it away in a giveaway. So I know what you're talking about now that you said it. Yeah. Thanks, Devin. Carla's diamond painting. Colleen's just answering questions. Karen said making collage postcards. Yay, Karen, do you have a YouTube channel? Seems that's familiar. Did it go by in one of my YouTube recommendations, I think? Someone said they're spinning yarn. That reminds me, back when a lot of exercise, well, not as far back as Jane Fonda back in the 70s, because I was in that one too. But more recently, I heard all these people saying they're going to their spinning class. Colleen will get a kick out of this because she's an exerciser. Going to their spinning class. And I thought, do they have those old timey yarn wheels? How are they spinning all this yarn? And where are all these classes taking place? Spinning classes? I thought they were talking about spinning yarn when it first became popular. Spinning classes. Hi, Lena. I thought, wow, everybody's getting in on this yarn spinning deal. All right, let me go back. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of hard press. I'm not smashing it down as hard as I can, but I'm putting a little firmer pressure while I'm going over. And it's kind of making the red smear just enough. It's making the red smear just enough into the green part to make it look like it's not a harsh stripe. It's a soft stripe. See, can you all see that right there? Yeah. And also be aware when you're doing something like this, whether it's with a light green, white, or whatever. See how I'm picking up look at that. See the red on the tip of that? Now, if you took this right now without cleaning off that tip, if you went to somewhere else, let's say over here or something, you're going to lay down that red. So be aware that when you use light colors over dark, you're picking up that pigment. And especially if you're doing a portrait or something, you don't want to take that dark color on the light pencil and take it over into a portrait. So be aware when you do something like this, where I'm going over a lot of red layers that have quite a bit of pigment on them. And I'm trying to smear it now. I'm trying to smear it into the green. But you're picking up pigment on that pencil tip. And you want to know that you're doing that. Otherwise, you're going to transfer. You're going to transfer that pigment from here to the next thing you touch. Do you need to buy these pencils? If you don't have any pencils, already, I recommend Prismacolor because they're easy to blend. They're soft. They come in 120, 150. I forget how many colors. Maybe it's 150 with the metallics. They come in so many colors and they come in different sets. I would recommend a minimum of a 24 set. A minimum. Don't get a 12 set if you're going to do a lot of coloring. It's not going to be enough. Get a minimum of 24 if you can, a 40, I think it's 48. Get one of those to start with. If you've never done color pencil before, I recommend Prismacolor Premier. Prismacolor Premier. That's what the newest name is for. It's not the student grade. There's Prisma Scholar. Prisma Scholar is a hard pencil. And so is Prisma Verithins. Get the Prisma Premier. Prisma Premier. Okay. Yeah, I have a bigger one. I tell everybody, don't think this is my only lime green when you see me using a nub. And I also do have pencil extenders here somewhere. I do have pencil extenders, you know. I rarely use the pencil extenders because I can just, I don't know, it doesn't bother to hold a nub. But yeah. Okay. So I want to do enough on here so you can see the progress we're making on this. I also want to show you starting a background on that shoe page. So I'm going to, kind of budget my time here. by 12. We got another hour and 20 minutes or so. So we're good. But okay, I'm going to keep moving my book so I can stay in camera. But yeah, Colleen, I'm looking forward to getting that book you enabled me and working with it. I haven't said which book it is. But, coloring, this is very relaxing. Don't let anybody tell you, color booking, that's not art. Yeah, let's see them shade. Let's see them throw some shade. Don't let them tell you that, people. Don't let them tell you that. It's, you're learning so much things. You're learning color blending, color theory, shading, blending. You're learning so much with a color book. You're learning how lines and different things go so that you can color, in directional. And so don't let anybody throw shade on your coloring, metaphorically speaking. Hi, Christine. And Christine CL, she's another one that does color books, a color book artist that you could buy her books on Amazon. And so follow all these people, guys. Follow. You got plenty of time to follow everybody now. You'll see. See, this is what I do all day anyway, normally, without any social distancing or any, anything else. This is what I do all the time. So now people ask me, how do you get so much done? Oh, now you'll find out. You'll find out how you can get so much done now because you'll be at home working on stuff. You'll get a lot of stuff done if you do it. You got to do it, though, guys. You got to do it, Do it. Do it. And I understand some people have kids at home. Now, here's who I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for school teachers that have little kids because they're at home trying to do online classes for their students. They're trying to teach online while they have their own kids at home. That's got to be a tough one right there. That has got to be a tough one. Teaching online your regular students and having little kids at home, which you have to get those kids online somewhere too, or, at least be teaching them their lessons. So you're a double teacher. You're teaching your regular students and you're teaching your own. That's a tough call right there, people. That's a tough call. Oh, don't be a fearing, Donna. Don't be a fearing your books. I'll tell you what to do if you're afraid to start in a book. And some books are more expensive than others. No, granted, some books are quite expensive. Some of the Asian books and things Miss Melody has sent me, they're expensive and you don't want to mess them up. So what I tell people, if you're not used to coloring, if it's kind of new to you and you have some expensive, I got to sharpen now, and you don't want to mess it up, make a copy for a practice, a sheet. Even if you just make a copy of a section, like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Well, make a copy of just a section of that color book page to practice on, right? So that, then once you get your colors selected and a little bit of practice shading or blending, you won't be so afraid to try out on your more expensive color books. So I understand that. Some books are quite expensive. And especially with shipping from Sweden or something like that, it is more expensive. Becky. Yes, I know, because teachers are trying, teachers that are home still have to do classwork for their regular students. Let's just say they have a third grade class and they got 30 or 40 kids in that class. They're having to do online work and testing or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how much. I'm sure it's all scaled back. I mean, they're not doing PE, stuff like that. I don't know if they were doing it anyway. But, they're not probably doing any of those extracurricular classes, but they're still having to probably teach them math and reading or, having them take tests, but then their own kids who might be in first and second grade. They got to deal with that. They got to teach them themselves or put them online in their teachers' classes, right? So it's got to be tough. So if you know a teacher, now you can't go over there and help them, I understand. But, if you know a teacher that you can maybe do something for them online, I don't know what it would be. You'd have to ask those teachers. But, that one's got to be tough. That one's got to be tough. Okay, so now I've kind of blended in. And again, I could still be working a little bit more, softening some of these, edges. And again, you want to take your time. You don't have to hurry through. And if you're doing it like right now, I'm doing quite a bit of burnishing, and you'll see the wax build up. Once you see the wax build up, there's really no more shading that you can do. You can't get in there with the 3 or 4 more reds now and try to shade. You could go hard pressure over something like, say, black or dark red. You could get another layer. You could get another layer of pigment on top, but you're not going to shade and blend. Once you've mashed down your paper and so much wax build up that you can see a shine to it, you've pretty much done all the blending you can do. Again, you can do a layer, hard pressure layer, but you're not going to be able to do more blending. That's why you always want to do soft layers as much as you can. But if you start to see the sheen, take a Q-tip or a Kleenex, and you can kind of wipe off some of the excess. It'll flatten out. It'll flatten out the wax. You'll still see it shiny, but it won't be scribbly shiny. It'll be a flat shiny. Does that make? Let me see if I can show you here. Let me put these down. Let's see if I can let you see. I don't know if it'll show up. If I can. All right. Let's see. See right there. See how it's kind of a scribbly shine. See how you can see the pencil marks. But over here, I've burnished. I've taken a Kleenex to it. See the difference? Maybe barely. So you can at least get the shine flattened out. Once you've burnished it this much, you've got a wax build. You've got a wax build up. Now, for me, that's not even quite dark enough on those stripes. So I've already added dark brown, Tuscan red, crimson red. Now I want just a little bit of black, because you'll see it's going to make it pop even more. Okay, it's going to make it pop even more. So now I can't necessarily blend, but I can layer. Okay, so I can put another layer on top. And can you see that? Now I'm going to take the brown and I'm going to go from the black to the brown. And if I need to, put some more red. But I'm just kind of putting another layer. So see how dramatic that makes it? See how dramatic it makes that contrast? Not a lot. I don't want to do too much. I just want to let little something right there. See how that does? You could even maybe come down just a little in the middle. Maybe just a little layer down, just a little bit. Can you see? Look at the difference that makes. See? Between this and that. Yeah, Carla, a lot of people ask me, can you use Gamasol or baby oil? And yeah, you can do a lot of different things. I don't do it because I just don't want to mess with it. It's not fun for me to color and have to use Gamasol or baby oil. The other thing is, when you use those products, you have to be very careful how much you put on, because it can go through. It'll be like, it'll soak through. So you got to be careful about that too. I don't want to have to be that careful. I don't want to have to be that careful with my color books. I want them to be fun. I want to enjoy the process. For me personally, I want them to look as best as I can. Don't get me wrong. But am I trying to worry about making this a work of art? Not for me. It's just, if I want to make a work of art, I'll start from scratch and do a portrait or a painting or a collage or a mixed media, then that's when I'll do my work of art. I want to enjoy this. I want to enjoy my coloring. And I just don't. It's not part of a fun Now again, don't. I'm not saying don't do it. Don't like it. You have to test it for yourself and see. Some people probably love getting out those little swabs and blending and melting. What Gamasol does is it melts the wax. Essentially, is what it's doing. It's melting your wax. I would just rather just keep working on it with pencils until it's all blended and mashed with pencil. But again, I'm not dissing on anybody for using any product that makes them happy. Whatever you like, you do it. It's about having fun doing it. If you don't enjoy the process, you won't stick with it. It's like the abandoned book, altering abandoned books. I tell people, they like the way it looks and they like the idea of the collage, but they just don't like abandoned places. It kind of freaks them out. It's depressing, whatever reason. Well, don't use an abandoned book. Get you a gardening book, a pet, like your favorite dog or cat or birds, architect, some kind of book. Get you a book that you like to try altering it and collaging and mixed media, because you might like the process of mixed media collage, but you just don't like abandoned books. So just because I like them doesn't mean you have to like them. Get you something you like. Kenneth said, I have a question. What's the biggest piece of art that you did from beginning to end? Murals. I used to be a mural artist. I think that was in between being a calligrapher and a painter. I did murals, somewhere in between there. Murals are my biggest. I have a mural room in my house, but I used to do them for commission years ago. Probably back in the maybe early 90s. I used to do murals. That was a thing. People like faux things, and or their kids, they wanted a whole zoo on their full zoo on their kids' walls. So I used to do murals. That was my biggest. Although my absolute biggest was probably my very first paid commission work that I ever did. When I first started, my very first job was working as inventory in auto dealership, counting inventory when I was probably 13 or 14. Mom would remember. 13 or 14. Well, anyway, and I did art. I've always done art all my life. Let me keep doing this while I'm telling this story. And I don't even remember how. I think it was Mom or I don't know. They knew somebody that, because of the auto dealership industry, they knew somebody that had a garage, like a, and I'm talking back in the 70s now. Yeah, I'm old. I don't think you could do this anymore. You couldn't do it now. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so back in the 70s, I was probably 14 years old. And they had this auto dealership. Garage, not a dealership. Sorry, let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. They knew someone that had an auto repair shop, and it was like a cinder block. It was like a cinder block kind of shop. And I was probably 14, and they needed their sign. They needed their name of their shop painted on the cinder block. Like, I don't know, 50 feet up in the air. I don't know, probably not that, maybe 20 feet up in the air, all across, big sign, big lettering across the shop. They needed it painted, the name of their shop. So I got a ladder and they bought the paint. They had the ladders, had the brushes. And it was my first gig. It was my first gig. I was 14, and painted the sign, the name of their shop, across the whole front of the building. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have stencils or ruler. I didn't even think I had a ruler. I eyeballed the whole thing. And it wasn't perfect, but they didn't really care. They were okay with the 14-year-old kid painting the name of their shop on the on the cinder block. They didn't want the name, right? Yeah. So that was probably my first art gig, But then later on in the 90s, 20 years later, whatever, murals came into fashion. Everybody wanted murals, animals, waters, oceans, and faux marbling, and all that other stuff. They wanted all that. So murals were real popular. So I did pretty good at them. It's not cheap though. It's not cheap to paint a mural in your house. But then that kind of went out of vogue. But I still have a mural room in my house. That I started. I did Barb's cat on there. Barb's cat Chance is painted in there. I've shown. Oh, here I'll take a quick break and take a sip of juice here. Hang on. I'll just let me go take a snap. Hang on. Just so you can see the size. I made sure I got the furniture in there and everything, just so you can see the size. So, see if you can see this. So, that's not a real dog that's a little dog behind the pillow over there. So, this right here, this is as tall as me. I'm 5'5.5". And this is at least as tall as me. Maybe I come up to about right there. So I have this giant cat mural in here with little chickens on his head and water. They're floating in space coming down on his head. So and the whole room is murals. You can see here there's a giant owl flying across there. Oh, but anyway. So you asked how big, the biggest things I've ever done, it's been murals and that sign. But then I worked in visual merchandising. I've moved 30 times in my life and had probably as many jobs. I grew up in the military and then married the military. So Hubster's retired military. And we moved a lot. So I had a lot of jobs because, every time you move, we had to, military didn't make money. You gotta have all hands on deck. But anyway, so my main job I had when I retired was visual merchandising. So I did decorating stores, right? Decorating department stores. I'm just going back and forth, but now between the black right up here at the top, adding that little more depth, and then just trying to kind of blend it in with either a red or a brown, just kind of softening the black lines. And so we would decorate stores. And then when I was doing it, wallpaper and room setting. See, you don't see a lot of mannequins and all that stuff now. You haven't for some years. Mannequins and little vignettes, little room vignettes and all that in department stores anymore. But then it was real big, real big. Every major store had little room vignettes trying to sell their wallpaper and their bedding and their, and plus tons and tons of mannequins. It was a very physical and also creative job. We averaged walking 10 miles a day. You were not ever out of shape when you work in visual merchandising. And it is a young person's job because you are walking. Now, again, nowadays, you don't have 200 mannequins in a store and 25 room settings. You just don't have that anymore. But back then, we did, and we're climbing ladders and pushing carts and mannequins, and it was, a very physical job. But we all loved it. We loved it. We felt blessed to be in such a creative job. All right, so there we go. So now you can see the stripes, and you saw how I did that. Okay, so we've gone from a flat wash like this to starting that. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Well, it's not real popular right now. And what I started the murals, and we've been in this house 20 years. I started those murals with Cameron when he was 2. He and I would paint. He's got his little handprints all over that. And now he's 20, 21 now. Here, let me go. Let me go take one more. Hang on. Now a lot of it's covered up. A lot of it's covered up with furniture and new bookshelves that I've put in there. So all of this, when we did it, was not covered up by furniture and stuff. But this last time, and that room is like this room. Let me just do a little. I don't know why I'm just doing this because something to talk about. Uh, so both of these rooms, this room that I'm in and the room next door, they're like 6-foot walls on the side, and they come up like this into like a barn shape. So my room in here and the mural room looks like this shape. But all the walls, all the way around, then here's a window right here, like that. And then all the walls around the room are a mural in there. But at the time when I painted the mural, they weren't all covered up with bookshelves and everything. So what I did though is before, my other daughter that lives in LA was going to visit us till all this happened, and they canceled their trip and they're going to postpone it till summer. But we were cleaning out the garage and we found a whole bunch of her trophies that she got she was a beauty queen, and she had a lot of trophies that we found in the garage. So let me turn down the lighting. I did bring out all her trophies and put them in there. So these trophies aren't normally sitting there, but I did put her trophies. I put all her trophies. So her trophies are covering up the mural. But again, this is like that right there is probably, I don't know, let me guess here, 8 feet, maybe, because that shelf is 6 feet. So this is probably at the 8-foot mark. And then the roof goes up into a barn shape. But anyway, so Cameron and I, when he was little, I would get out my James Christensen book, and great James Christensen has since passed away. I got out my James Christensen book and let Cameron pick out whatever he wanted me to paint on the wall. And he picked this princess in a boat. And again, the boat's covered up with all this other stuff down here. But there's a giant boat here. And this owl is probably, I don't know, 3 feet across. She's probably they're probably about 3 feet across. Anyway, so he picked this princess in a boat and with her umbrella and this owl. So this is huge. This is a huge wall. Look, that's a 6-foot shelf right there. Just so you know, I didn't even get all the way to the ground there. So it's really the whole. And then I got that. Look, there's a blue jay. Oops, hang on. There's a blue. Oh, hang on. There we go. There's a blue jay up there in the corner. And there's murals all around the room, but a lot of them are covered up because of the furniture now, because I don't care if it's covered up because the kids are gone. So, yeah, I know. I love Cameron's art too. Thank you. Hi, Eileen. I'm trying to get him to finish some. Last time he was here, I took a couple pictures of his sketchbook, and he guards that thing he hugs that thing to his chest. He gave me, actually, I was kind of surprised he let me hold for him I have about 20 of his sketchbooks, but I promised him I would not share or show any of them. Some stuff he doesn't want seen. It's just personal. So, of course, I'm not going to show it, but I do have about 20 of his sketchbooks. But when he was here last time, he let me take some pictures in his sketchbook. Let me see if I can find a couple of those pictures. We'll get back to the coloring in a minute. Have no fear. Don't email me. Don't email me. Where is... hang on. And I've shown them before, but let's see if I can find a couple of his pieces. I'm trying to think of when he was here where I took the pictures. They got to be right in this time period. Hang on. Now it's a challenge. I have to find them. It's a challenge. And I showed you Boo. You know, Boo, my granddaughter. She's 17 and she goes to high school half a day, college half a day, and of course her place that she worked part-time in between, shut down for the time being. But anyway, her project was a sculpture. Yeah, it is, Eileen. So my granddaughter she sculpted a taco. So Boo sculpted a taco. Look at that. Doesn't look like a real taco. She said she didn't want to put cheese in it because it would cover up all the meat. All right. So I know it's right in there because it's at the same time that I took that picture of the taco that I took pictures out of Cameron's sketchbook. I hate that I can't find it right off, but I have 4,000 pictures on my phone. So, it's kind of like, and they're not in folders. The pictures are not in folders, so it's not like I can go right to a folder. I was really hoping to show some of Cameron's drawings from when he was here, or when he let me take a picture out of his sketchbooks. Well, guys, I may not be able to find them. I don't want to take all day looking for them. It's like I'm on a mission now to find them. I'll give it one more little look. But their faces, and Eileen's seen them. That's why it made me look for them, because Eileen knows what ones I'm talking about. There's Boo's trip. It's got to be right in here. Right in here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's one of the ones he's working on. This is one of his sketchbook pieces here. And again, it's a little flashed out on my phone, but this is one of Cameron's girls that he's working on. What else? This is one, I think he drew this one. He might have drawn this one on camera for you guys. This might have been one of the projects that he drew while on camera here. What else? And there's this one. But anyway, yeah. I know. Okay, let's get back to our page. Hey, baby, you gonna come up here? I see you. I see you. All right, so now let me go ahead and get a couple of greens here. Let me sharpen. Now she's butting my arm with her head while I'm trying to. You can't see her because we're so zoomed in. You want to lay down, baby girl? You want to lay down? You're purring away. All right, you're going to have to sit then. You can't go over by the cords. Okay, so what I want to do now, okay, you got to get down. I can't. I don't have room. Let me just do a couple of little sections right here. So I'm going to take my green and just kind of put a little bit more down. Let's go back with the lime too. So what I'm going to do is kind of just add a little bit more, very light coat here, very light coat. And then I'll take my lavender and then just kind of bring that up into the green so they kind of just meld together. I'm just going to do this little section right here. And meld this together. And now let me go into my purples. Hang on, let me sharpen. Yeah, he does. He wouldn't take the time any more than I would, Eileen, to make a color book. Make it a color book. Ask Laura or Christine. It takes like 9 months to a year to make a color book. like exclude, don't work on anything else, just a color book. You know, it takes a long time to make one. All right, so now I'm going to go with the black grape here. I'll just start right down in here because we haven't done anything in the purple. So I'm going to go in here now and start shading. Say, I'm kind of doing the same thing that I was doing up here, but now I'm going in the purple and going up. And I'm using Kirby's line art. I'm using his line art to decide where to shade, right? And I'm doing it very lightly. I'm not putting no pressure here yet, no hard pressure yet. You want to save that for the very end. If you're going to do any hard pressure, you want to do that after you've done every bit of blending that you want to do, because there's no blending after that. So again, I hope y'all got some project in front of you while you're watching. That's what I do. I'm always working on something while I'm watching everybody else. Okay, so maybe just like that for now. But look at the difference already. See, look at that. And look at this. See how it's already starting to be dimensional? All right, now I'm going to take my purple. That was black grape. Now this is just violet or purple. I can't, violet. And now I'm going to kind of work my way up. Again, soft kitty, warm kitty, very lightly, very lightly. Yeah, and Janet comes on. I hope that was her link that she just put in. Janet comes on at 1. She and Eileen banter on her show. It's always fun. And if you just join Janet on her show for the first time and you see her and Eileen arguing, you're going to think, oh my gosh, why isn't Janet banning her? They're having good fun together, guys, teasing each other and all that. So if you just come into Janet's show and you see that she and Eileen are bantering, they're friends. Just say it. You were just humming that, Christine. Hi, Wolfie. Tracy. I know I'm missing people. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm just kind of getting a little bit more of the purple in here. Now I'm going to show you how to do some of these little scales here in just a minute. First, you got to get the base on. You got your acrylic base, and now you got to start kind of getting your shading in. And if you don't work on your piece for a while, or you go onto multiple pieces, different color book pages, you might want to write down the colors you use. I can pretty much tell what color because I do use them so much. It's like I don't know half the names of the colors or the numbers, but I can tell you which pencil goes with what because I just can recognize the color itself. But anyway, okay, so now we got that. Let's go ahead and go up just a little further back up in here. Now I'm going to go to the lavender. And again, I'm just going to do the same thing. Now I'm going over those colors and just kind of dragging it up. I'll show you how to put a couple highlights too. If you have something that's shiny, I don't think he's really very shiny, but if you want to have some kind of little bit of shine, you can use your Posca and do that. But first, we want to get some of those scales in there. See how it kind of just starts blending? And then again, I'm probably going to want to come back down way down in here with my black. Where's that? Here we go. And I'll probably even want to have some real dark darks down in here on his underbelly. And maybe a few right along some of those folds of his skin. And you just want a lot of contrast. You know, again, that's what most people say. Well, it didn't turn out, it doesn't look like yours. What I do wrong? I can almost guarantee you the reason you don't like it or you didn't turn out like you were hoping it would is you don't have enough contrast. You don't have enough dark darks and light lights. Okay, can you see how much just that little bit of black made the difference? Thank you, Pacola. Yeah, that's over at iStencil. If you want to see new stencils, Patty Tolley Parrish. If you want to put her link in there too, Pacola. Patty Tolley Parrish is a designer for iStencil, and they have new stencils out. I can't remember whose is whose. Like Joan's done some, and different people have done different iStencil new designs. But there's a promotion. She said today's the last day of the sale. Pacola just said. Yes, Devin. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darkest purple, which is my black grape, and I'm going to sharpen it up nice and sharp. Let's see if that's going to be the darkest one. It might be. Well, we'll see what happens. It may or may not be dark enough. Now what I'm going to do here is every little scale I'm going to go over. Well, I shouldn't say everyone because I'm not really doing every 100% of them, but I'm doing enough of them so you can see the scales. Some of them are going downward, little U's. These over here, Kirby has them going up. I guess it depends on the way he's moving. Okay, so to get these in here, I want to show you the transition here. So I'm going to put a couple of the purple ones going up into the green so they look like they're kind of transitioning in. Okay, so let's come over here. And you really want to keep your pencil sharp for this. Okay, see that? Now I'm going to take my dark green and I'll start up here. And I'm going to go up here on the scales. Just snap the point off. Did y'all hear that? And keep turning your pencil. If you keep twisting it, you'll continue to have a sharp edge. And then I'll bring a few of the green ones down into the purple. So they kind of mesh together. You'll see that? Right. And then if you want, now it depends on what kind of look you want. If do you want them to be like shiny? Do you want them just to be a dull kind of flat, kind of a dull flat looking scales, where they're kind of just like, we can just kind of blend these into the background. But if you want, you can make them stand out. You can make them stand out by putting some white on them. Okay. So I'm just going to keep putting a few more here and I'll show you. Let me go back to my purple. Get a little more shading in here. And again, look at how the artist that did the book, look at where they drew those shady lines. Follow their lines there, and you'll get the contour, you'll get the contour of the whatever it is, because you're following their shading. I can still see the shading lines underneath all this. And I'm just kind of following them around so that you can still see kind of a bit of a shape in there. Okay. Oh, thank you, Nanamo. And then you can take a white Posca or whatever gel. You could probably even maybe use a gel pen, but you have to be careful when you're using a gel pen. When you're using any kind of a gel pen over the top of wax, you're going to be picking up that wax, right? And even with the Posca, you're going to want to come over here. I have on my side table, I have it covered in black paper, and I can tap it off, clean off the tip. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, unless the cat jumps up here, which she's around my feet. And I'm making the tiniest little U shapes or C shapes, depending on which direction I'm going here. And if it stops working, you know that you've got to go over here to the side and clean off the tip and get that wax buildup off. And you may not like the white accent. Now, I'm going to show you something else you can do when I get finished with this. If you don't like it bright white, and I tell you all this with hair, or anytime you use a white Posca, this might be the case. So go ahead and get all this in. Okay. Give it that texture. Now, look how white it is. See how white that is? If you don't like the white, which some you might or might not, make sure it's dry. And then you can take your lightest color, like I'm going to use the lavender and the light green. Okay. Thanks, Devin. And I'm going to go, I don't want to zoom in more because I don't want to lose my clarity. I'm going to kind of just try to hold it up. I'm going to go over the white. It will knock it back from being pure white, but it'll still be bright. I mean, I don't, let's go this way. So it takes away it being pure white, but see how you still see the light coming through? See how you can still see the light coming through, but it's not that bright. See how now it looks like nubby, what do you call it, lizard skin? But that white will make it look nubby, but it's not going to be white. But you have to put it down that way and let it dry, or dry it with a heat gun. And then go back over it with your pencil and see how it makes it look like nubbies. So now it's nubbies. And I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to take the lavender and do the same thing over the purple. And it looks like nubby lizard skin. But just putting white pencil down, won't do this, because if you go over it with the purple, you'll just be smashing or smearing the white. But with the Posca, it's covering it, but you see how you can still see through it? See how you can still see through it? Any pointers on how to do those houses on top of him? We'll probably have to do it on another episode, because I don't really want to start the houses. If you don't think you can do tiny little bits like this with pencil, well, use some of your gel pens or your, paint, your pen, whatever kind of pens. What kind of pens am I thinking of? Not gel pens necessarily, but pens, just fine liners. That's what I'm trying to think of. Use your fine liner pens. Use your fine liner pens. Now, I will say this, if you want to do a glow coming out of the windows, you will have to have some acrylic paint. If you have acrylic paint, I'll do one window for you here. Let me get it black. So let's just say this house could be, I don't know, maybe it's purple. All right, let me just, maybe this house is purple and I don't know. All right, so I'm going to go around this one little window here. You have to have the acrylic, you have to have the paint in there as well to make it glow. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of purple. That'll be the color of the house. Now, where's my paint? Oh, there might be just enough there to do this. All right, let's see. Let me get a pointy brush. If you want to put a glow around it. Let me get my paintbrush wet. Let's see if there's enough paint right. Yeah, okay, there is. There's enough paint there to pick up. All right, so now let me just go ahead and do it with the paint, because it'll be easier to show you. All right, so let's just go around this window here. Okay, let's go around this window, maybe just kind of, and again, I don't care if it gets right off the line, because you're going to go back over it with other, colors. All right, so now we got a little window there. Maybe, I'll put a little green too. Let's put a little tiny bit of green. Just to give it a couple of colors on the house. All right, let me rinse this out. All right, now let me get an orange. Oh, and I gotta read some of our book too. Okay, let me get just a touch of orange here. Oh, we're off camera. Sorry, guys. I'm so zoomed in. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a watery. I have to water it down just a little bit. I'm gonna put just a touch of orange in the window. Okay, now let's dry that. Got to dry. Okay, now let's get, see if I want that. I think I'll go with white. It'll just show up better on camera. Where's my white? Okay. All right, so now we got some orange in the window and there's purple paint. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a glow. And again, it's going to be more dramatic when you see the whole house done, right? Right, maybe a little bit of yellow in there. And I want my window panes. I don't want to lose my window panes right there in the middle. So I'm going to go back in there with a pen. And you can have a little glow coming out like this. Again, I'd spend a little more time. But you can see how you can have a little window glow coming out, depending on how much. And then you can go back in there and fussy the window itself. Something like that, you know. That's just an idea. You don't have to do every window. You don't have to do every window with a light coming out of it. But maybe a couple. And of course, you can always go in there with your Posca. Put more. Or if it's too much, again, take your white, take your white that you put in and dry it. And then you can knock back the white with the color. Like I can go back over that with orange. And it won't be so white. Kind of like we did with the skin. See how that skin now is, because of the white Posca, you're able to get that nubby texture. It's because of the white. Okay. And this is a little window. It is kind of tiny to do this, but you can do it. It's just a little tiny. You go in there and fussy. You know. And then maybe right at the center, it's got a little brighter. Just got to kind of play with it. Yeah. And when all this, if you have all this painted in and just have like one or two little windows with this effect, it's more dramatic. You know, it's kind of not very dramatic when you got everything else not painted in. All right, so there we go. That's there's our texture on the how to do lizard texture skin. And see, I can continue down. I could bring those white dots down a little further and then paint, pencil over them to knock back. But you can see now how to do the lizard skin. Okay, so yeah, you could add a little human in there. Yeah, you could. All right, so now I'm going to move this back out just so we can get the big picture here again. So you can see how close up we were. Let's see, let's go back in one or two. So now you can see how small we were working. And you can get the big effect. So you can see how we did the wash. We did some blending right in here and shading. And then we added some texture. Right, added some texture. But the background I painted with black acrylic paint. But you see the difference, like where we added the shading? But starting with an acrylic base, starting with just a wash, a watered down acrylic craft, and then to go to that. See? All right, now I'm going to show you again on the painting the background. I'm going to go to the back, the other one that I wanted to see work on today, the shoe, this one. And I do need to make this, I need to bend the spine so that it lays flat. Okay. So on this one, there's all these little green leaves. Now I have to decide, do I want a nice pretty blue background with some floaty down green leaves? I think that's probably what I'll do. So you can do a couple things. If you don't want a black background, you can always just do a wash in the background as well. Okay. Oh, good, Orla. So let's do, instead of a flat color on this background, let's do a blue background where we can add some nice light clouds. And then all these little dots right here are supposed to be, I think, the leaves falling, blowing or whatever. And you can make them fall leaves. I haven't decided on the leaf color yet, but I'm going to just start on a sky. All right, so let me get blue and another dry palette. Once the acrylic paint's dry, you can put paint over it and layer, But it's kind of, sometimes it's hard for people to see colors when they layer stuff on top of each other. Like I can just put this blue on top of anything and I know that blue, right? But sometimes it can be distracting So you can always peel this up. These will peel up, and you can have a clean, um, what do you call it? Coffee lid palette. Okay, so now I'm going to water this down. I'm running out of water here. I got to hold it up. I just want it a little bit watered down. And let's get not quite this big a brush and not quite this small of a brush. Well, I'll use this to mix it. Okay, so I'm just watering it down, just washing it down. Okay, and let's get a medium brush. Let's see. That's still a little big. Oh, well, I'll start with the little bigger one. Okay, so now I'm going to get into this wet blue paint, and I'm going to paint. Now, here's one of the things about, it's still a little, I want it a little bit thinner, just a little thinner. You can start with the big areas here and get in the crack there. I want it even watered down just a little more. I still want to see a little bit through. I want it a little bit translucent because I'm going to add, what do you call it, clouds and stuff. Now, here's one of the nice things. If you do a translucent like background like this, I could actually just paint right over those leaves. Oh, let me zoom in a little. I could paint right over these leaves because I'm going to paint over those, either paint or pencil over that. So I don't have to really worry about, in this case, getting like right up, going out of lines because I can paint or pencil over it. So I don't have to be that neat. Now you can be, and I know a lot of people are OCD and they couldn't stand to just go over an edge of something like that, right? Look, see, I just go right over the edge. But because I'm gonna add what do you call it, other pencil or paint over that, then it's not gonna matter. Okay, so I'm just want to get a background in here. So one of the nice things about using acrylic paint is the quickness of it. Can you imagine trying to pencil this all in? It's getting behind those trees there. Can you imagine trying to pencil all in? Now, if I was doing it black, that's another story. If I'm doing it solid black like I did on this one, I'm having to be careful. I'm having to be careful because if I put black over that, you're going to lose your line art. Right? You're going to lose your line art. Yet, I want this a solid black. But if I want a solid black, I can't just be going out of lines because I'll be covering up those trees or the line art. But if I'm doing a wash like this, I can still see. I can see if I go over a tree branch or something, I can still see where I've gone over it, and I'm going to either paint or pencil over it anyway, so it's not going to matter. Am I making sense in that regard? So depending on if you're doing a wash, you can go over things. If you're doing a solid, like solid black, you'll lose your line art, and you don't want to lose your line art. So this is a very quick way to do your backgrounds. And then you can do your pencil and other acrylic painting, because I can still paint these leaves with paint as a base. Okay, so I'm just gonna, and I'm not caring if some areas are darker and some are lighter because it's going to be the sky, and I'm going to also put it in clouds. Now I don't want to go over, let me put a piece of, you want to put something behind so you're not going to glue your pages together, go on to the next page. So put a piece of paper there. Okay, I'm not checking chat. Let's see. Is that background or a wash? Yeah, it's a watered down acrylic paint. Yes, watered down. When I say a wash, it's watered down acrylic paint. That's why it's a wash. Okay. The black on the other one was not a wash. It was solid. just solid, no water. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of quickly get this background in here. Now let's go over here. My pencils are all rolling in here. And again, you don't have to go as fast as I am. Try to, showing you get as much done as I can. Okay. Let's move over this side. Just finding all the sky. I want to do a little bit of the sky for you. Let me put a piece of paper in here. And this blue is Indian turquoise. I do want the back behind that little, there might be, if that was I guess that's a birdhouse. I was going to say if that was a lamp, you'd want the blue to show through anyway. So sometimes people don't want to, they don't want to color backgrounds because it's so time consuming if you do it with pencil, and it is. And not only that, if you do it with pencil, you're not going to be able to put color pencil glows or, other things on top of it because, like I showed you before, this is a painted black background. This is a solid pencil black. And you go over it with a white pencil, look at that, go right on top of it. Here, you cannot, there's white pencil pressed hard and you can't even see it. So by having your acrylic paint as a background or a base of anything, it doesn't even just have to be a background, it can be the base like it was on that dinosaur. You're able to do so many more techniques with an acrylic base. Okay, so there we go. So now we have, and I want it kind of splotchy. I don't want it too flat. I want it a little splotchy, so because we're going to put clouds in there. All right, now let me dry this real quick. Let me rinse out my brush. And you can still see all those little leaves because it's not a flat black or flat blue. If I just did it straight blue right out of the jar, it would cover up all that line art, right? It would cover up all your line art. You wouldn't be able to see that. So now what you can do, a couple different things. You can take, and I only want to spend a minute because I want to read our 1001 page here. Let me get it. Let's see. That's still wet. Need another little place to put some clean. Okay. So now you can do a couple things, and I'll just do it with the brush, but you can do it with a baby white. You've seen, if you're going to do mist though, if I wanted some mist and clouds, let's just say I colored all this in, then I would want to put some mist or clouds, maybe floating across these shoes, but you can't do that till this is all done. You have to wait till all that is done. Yeah, it depends, Pam. It depends on what effect you want. If you want a solid background like a night sky where you're going to put stars, you want a flat. There's nothing under there. There's no, this is a blank. This was a blank page. If this had something under there, like let's just say it has some planets or something that you didn't want to lose, you'd have to do a wash because otherwise you're covering up your line art. It's just two different techniques. Okay? So now I want I want it splotchy and like sky-like, and I want to see all those little falling leaves. You don't have to. I could have painted this just solid black if I wanted to, and then just put random leaves with a paint pen, right? But I wanted it light and splotchy. So now if you want clouds floating across, you've got to wait till you're done with this. Let me pull. Let me get one here. Don't know which book it was in. Okay, here. If you want clouds and mist floating across it, you have to wait till you're finished painting your base. And then you can take a baby wipe on your finger and mash it into the baby wipe and make these clouds coming across your house, your creature, whatever. But don't do this until you finished painting the underpainting. Okay? Same thing for this. Now, if you just want some little bit of clouds, if you just want a little bit of clouds now, you can just take your, paint, take your acrylic paint, and I'm so zoomed in, I got to keep them. And you can just do some little, you can just put some little clouds in, right? And you could put some in with paint. Okay. I'll put a few in with paint, and then you can also go in there with your white pencil. But normally I don't do this kind of thing until the end, because I might want some of these little clouds floating around the leaves. Some might be, or that they could just be all in the background, far, far away, like these are. Okay, these are just far, far away clouds. And the best thing to do is just get you a piece of cardstock, paint down some blue paint, and try to practice some clouds. Or throw down a bunch of black paint and see what kind of things you can get with your color pencil. See what you can get with your color pencils with on top of paint. Okay. All right, so there's just an example. Now that's probably kind of sit and dried by now. Now, if I want to put any more layers over, I can do that. I could add a little bit more brighter on the clouds. Keep layering it up, or you can do this with pencil too. And you just keep playing with it and building it up. Maybe I want that a little, not so much right there in the crack. And then as that's drying, you can add a little bit more, or you can go in there with your pencil. Okay, so let me stop on this and let me get my pencils out. Okay. All right, let me dry. All right, so now I can go in here and maybe put a little bit of extra. Could put a little pink or yellow or, whatever. And you can just get in there. But the reason I can put this white pencil on this blue is because it's acrylic paint. If that was pencil, if I put all light blue pencil for the sky, this blue would not be on here. This white would not go on here. White would not go over all this if this was pencil. But it's because it's acrylic paint that I can do that, right? So you can kind of see where we're headed, right? It's easier to get in the crack with the paint than it is with the pencil. All right, so you can kind of see how we're doing the background with the clouds. Does that make sense? Okay, it looks real. Yeah. And all it is just blue and white. And you see how it's kind of splotchy? If you leave it kind of splotchy like that, then it makes it easier just to kind of fake in some clouds because you've already kind of got some little bit of, diversity in your sky already. It's not just flat. So, and you can just keep doing it. And if you want some real bright silver lining, take your Posca and add just a little. Don't overdo it, just a tiny bit. You can kind of tap it in. And you can add just a little bit of that brightness to a couple of your clouds. Don't overdo it because then it'll look like you just kind of lined it in. You want it to be kind of tapped in, See, and just get a little bit extra with the clouds. And if it gets to be too much, you can go back with the blue. You can go back with the white, pencil, or you can go back with the white paint and paint over it. It's just paper and pencil. Paint and pencil. Okay. And then I can go in after this because the clouds are the farthest back, right? At least so far. I haven't added any mist or anything. They're farthest back. But these leaves, these little leaves coming forward, let's see if I can do a couple of this. Let's finish this first. The leaves that are falling from the trees are closer to you. So they're going to be on top of the clouds. They won't be behind the clouds unless you have a mist. If you have a mist or something coming across, then that would be in the foreground. But those little leaves, those tiny little leaves that are floating around in there, they're closer to you. So you can go in here and soften. And I had not decided yet if those are going to be fall leaves or green leaves. It'd probably be pretty as fall leaves, but I think it'd also be pretty as bright green. So you kind of see how we're going there? Hi, Michelle. Do y'all have any questions or anything? Are we good? See the little leaves flying across? Those little tiny leaves. They'd probably be very dramatic if they were orange. Yeah, we get a troll here and there. They'd probably be very dramatic if they were orange, but I haven't decided yet if I want them spring or fall, so I'm not going to put them in yet. But there you go. Now let me back up here so you can kind of see the big picture. There you go. So you can kind of see how it looks. So those details that you get right on, you think, oh my gosh, it just, oh, I can't. But then when you back up, look how good it looks when you back away. Back away. So again, let's go back over to our little lizard here. See how we got this skin done in here and how we got the texture, how we got the little texture of the speckling going on there. And then the clouds we started on here. We didn't get far on the shoe, but, we did as much as we could with a few rabbit trails that we do. All right. So again, this is out of our Worlds Within Worlds, Kirby Roseanne's new book. And yeah, I'm really glad we got this because we'll be coloring in this for a while. Okay, bye, Becky. Now I'm going to just do one more thing before we go, and that is read the next page out of our 1001 Ways to Be Creative. We do a page or a page and a half once a week for you to have some creative ideas. You can write these down, or adapt them. Just because it says one exact thing doesn't mean you have to do it exactly like that, but it could be a spark. It can be a spark. So we're at number 73. Don't just look, see. Practice looking with the penetration at least once per hour. So if you're like painting something indoors, outdoors, whatever, you really want to spend, this is me talking, not the book. You really want to spend more time staring at the object than you do your drawing. And that's so true of, like, for instance, drawing on the right side of the brain. You want to draw what you see, not what you think you see. So you have to really concentrate on looking at the item. 74, learn by copying. Back in the day, the famous artists that we think of now as Monet and, all the different Picasso. Well, Picasso's more modern, but they used to copy statues or other artists' paintings to get good at what they did. Now, they didn't turn around and sell a Picasso that they copied. Well, before that, I mean, like a Monet or a Manet or whatever. They practiced by looking at the masters of their time. They looked at the masters of their time and practiced by copying, so they could learn, like, how did they do those brush strokes? What color combination did they use? How did they layer those colors to get that exact color? That kind of thing. Hi, Dot. Mrs. I said Miss Phibbs. I think I said hi. Who else am I missing? I know I'm probably missing Artful Dabbler Tori. I know I'm missing people. Thanks, guys, for being here. We're about ready to leave. So I just wanted to read real quick these 1001 Ways to Be Creative, Barbara Ann Kipfer. And so just a little book, and we've been reading a page or two every week. 75, take something apart and put it back together. You will learn that the object is actually more than the sum of its parts. 76, aim for discovery. Look at the same thing as everyone else and think something different. And I mean, if Kirby's book doesn't tell you that, I don't know what does. Looking at something and turning it into something else. Yeah. And then one of the quotes over here is, a routine creates a landing place for the muse. A routine creates a landing place for the muse. My version of that quote is 90%, or really probably more, 90% of inspiration is in your butt. You sit down, you start on something, and the muse comes around. If you sit in, if you're just sitting off someone, and again, we're not talking Leonardo da Vinci here. Maybe he could just be out walking the fields and figure out how the human anatomy worked. But, he also went to the morgue and drew the innards of bodies. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you start and sit down and start something that you get the inspiration or the muse, so you've got to start. So that is today's. We're moving the Post-it note for next week, and keep this handy. And I hope y'all enjoyed working in our new Kirby book. Don't forget, Janet comes on at 1 in about an hour. She and Eileen will be bantering. Don't email them. Oh my gosh, you're so mean to each other. They tease each other. That's what they do. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Thanks for all the newbies that came in. Thanks for all the thumbs up. And we will see you on Wednesday. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye, guys.